shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me.
What up, Nine?
Yeah, I'ma do shit my
Trapaholics Mixtapes.
As the 9% and word would say, make a better you, a better us.
Give them what they ask for.
Who do you think you are? I'm the word. Boy, I'm the one who put in the work.
When I move, it's in a quick rumble. I will never ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.
What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. We about to get into it. But before we do that, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button if you haven't already. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe, man. It's free to you, but it means the world to me. Now, with that being said, let me get it. Let me get it. EMG, what it do with the business is. What up, fam? Hope your day is good. I hope it's great. My 33 brother, Mr. 33 himself, Mr. Gary Busted Down Brown, what it do with the business is 9. Lisa J. Stocks in a building. What up, money lady? Appreciate you, sis. Appreciate you, man. I hope everything's going good with everybody, right? Hey, I just want to get some context to this conversation. I'm dropping a link. I'm printing it to the open panel. Now, I'm not, this is in no means, no end to have a sexist war or talk or men versus women or that. That's not the intent of the stream. I'm going to tell you what the intent of the stream is. One thing mainly is to help men and women understand the dynamics of between men and women. We different, right? We just different. And hopefully throughout this conversation, with the participation of the chat and me doing my thing, we get clarity on it. But it's not to say one is better than the other one is more significant than the other one. I'm just telling you how things are, right? If you know how things are, you know how to interact with it better, right? The dynamics between men and women, I think it's a lot of confusion, and like I said, once we break this down, we'll get a understanding. So I'm not doing it with the intent to say men are superior to women or women are superior to men. That's not the intent. It's to understand one another, right? Because we do have dynamic. We are different, right? We built different genetically, mentally, even spiritually. We'll get into that one day. We'll go into the Ethiopian Bible. I've been reading that lately. So yeah, we'll get into that one day. But we different, man. And it's a reason. It's the yin and yang factor, right? One is built to work with the other one, right? And that's the problem. We'll not work with one another no more. That's why we have so much discord. So, with that being said, the title of the show is "Women Need Men and Men Want Women." There's an open panel. Let me drop the link. Dee 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 dee. And even this conversation, it goes beyond relationship, right? I'm not just talking about the dynamics of men and women in relationship. I'm talking about the dynamics of men and women on this earth, right? Not just in your relationship. I mean, people can swap roles or whatever you want to call it. That they can be swapped. That's in a relationship, but I'm talking about in the totality. I'm talking about in totality, right? So anyway, uh, the link is dropped. I don't know if anybody want to hit the link and get in on the conversation before we get into it, because I don't want to hit too many points. I don't mind difference of opinion. Y'all know how I am over here. I like conversations. We get into a debate. I just don't think a lot of people qualify for it. And if we're gonna do a debate, I want to do it right. So, but we can have an open discussion where we have difference of opinion. People entitled to the way they think. I don't mind that. So all I ask for is respect. We ain't got to do all that homonyms. We ain't got to do all the name calling that stuff. We have a conversation, right? Like adults, right? So under context of what I'm saying, women need men and men want women. Even my wife, she was like, "Well, I don't know." And then when I broke it down to her, she was like, "Okay, I think I understand now." She thinks she understands. And I'm gonna tell you, this people may be triggered. People may be triggered because of their own personal experience, past, present, or past or present. And that ain't my intent neither. My intent is not to trigger you. My intent is to have a discussion because maybe it'll help you understand something you experienced before. You'll get more insight on a man or even a woman. You know, but when I say want, you know, and need, generally people. Uh, I don't know. These terms are used synonymous sometimes. I ain't gonna say all people, but when I hear people say want need, they don't never really separate the two. They use them synonymously. When they say something that they need, but they use the term want, or they say something they want and use the term need. So when you think of need, the term itself, by definition, it associated with survival, right? Survival. We can get into the word if you want, but when need is associated to survival, want is associated to desire, right? So those are two different things: a want and a desire. I mean, survival. Like I need this to survive, like air, water. You know what I'm saying? You need these food, you need shelter, you need these things to survive. Want is more associated to desire to make the experience better, right? So when I say women need men, now I've argued this, your average logical thinker. What up, though, sis? Appreciate you. Hey, do me a favor. Somebody drop her link. Yeah, drop her link for me. Y'all go subscribe to the average logical thinker. Now, I have argued this point many a time. Men are biologically women's defense mechanism. Our attribute, we're built to defend, we're built to protect. Our muscles are more denser, our bone structure, our fast twitch muscles. We have two different types, but ours is, I think, is believe is fast twitch one. Um, men are genetically and biologically, we produce more testosterone. What is testosterone? What does that do? That makes us aggressive. You know, we're built to defend. Bees have stingers, scorpions have stingers and claws, women have men. So genetically, just our makeup, our breasts don't nurture, they don't feed, they don't give life, they don't sustain life rather than, I ain't gonna say give, they don't sustain life. Our womb doesn't carry a fetus. We don't do none of that. That is all defective. Our ovaries jump down at the testicle, our breasts harden up, milk dried up. We don't do all that. And anything you name in life, right? You're gonna have outliers, you're gonna have bohemians, you're gonna have exceptions to the rules, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about no exceptions, right? So genetically, men are created to defend our women's defense mechanism. That's why we are the protectors and providers, right? So even genetically, women need men. Women are creators of life. They produce, they sustain. That's what they do. Men protect it. Again, like even when you think of the creation of life, it's still a need and want. Well, I ain't gonna say need because women don't need to have kids. That's probably a want. Women don't need to have kids. But even in that aspect, for women to understand why is it so easy for men to walk away? Because that's a want. It's not a need. Yeah, I'm just being honest with this, right? And this is why I say this conversation ain't to say men or better or superior. It's not to do that. It's to help you understand. This is why it's so easy for men to walk. I'm not even gonna say men. I'm gonna say males because a man is a developed male, a matured male. So a man is gonna take care of his family. But it's so easy for males to walk away from women when they get pregnant or even after they have the baby. Why? Because it's want. It's not a need. It's not a need. It's a want. Yeah, 5.99. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. The baby wants a bottle. She don't need a bottle, but she wants it. So hold on, let me play this. Where is that? I ain't played this in a minute.
Got a monster inside of me. You better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets cause real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score. Never getting bored, loves the blood and gore. Always wanting more, feeding from the source. They don't really understand until they feel the force departed. If you start shit, you'll be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped. You'll be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate.
Dang, that was right on time, straight on point. I forgot what I was saying. So I was saying even biology, right, tells us that I mean no, I was saying the reason why men walk away because it's more of a want they desire. And it's what they desire. Like even like when women are more emotional, right? And that's not all the time, like I said. But generally when we think about women, we think about emotion. Even estrogen is tied to fluctuation of emotions, right? Even estrogen, women produce more estrogen. So I'm not saying women are more emotional than men. I believe women are more emotional than men. I think they are more in tune of expressing emotions than men are, just natural. And that's why it's easier for a woman to show empathy, right? It's easy for a woman to do it. It's easier for a woman to display empathy than it is for a male, So even when it comes to having a baby, a woman has more of a need to nurture than a man does. A man may want to nurture, but it is not driven. It's not innate. It's not instinctive. It's something that we can learn. But naturally, that's why even love, we express love differently than women. Men express love differently than women. Like our expression of love is protecting and providing. That's why like giving shit or building shit that's how we express our love. Here's this, here's that. It is all things that we can create. Women's expression of love is more action, the more affectionate, the more uh, taken care of, tending to the needs. That's women's more expression of love. So even that's tied into need and want. Because if you understand like survival, the concept of surviving is not thriving, right? Surviving is not thriving. A lot of women, even biology tells us that women uh emotions need to be more balanced than men. After a woman can easily have postpartum depression. What is that? A bunch of chemicals built up in her body, making her emotional. Men, we don't go through that. There's another reason women have their cycles. They have to cycle a lot of that, uh, the estrogen, the dopamine, all the chemicals. They get to flush that out their body because they produce higher rates of it than men do. Women have more fat, so that stuff gets stored into fat. So it prolongs in their body a lot longer than it does a male. So emotions are attached to a lot of our chemicals, our biology in our body. Emotions tie right into that. That's why, I need to have that conversation about emotional addiction. Hold on. Hey, what did I push? What the hell did I just push? Oh, no. I ain't what trying to. I'm trying to highlight directly and usually objective with the solution where women or your mother would tend to tell something to you what you want to hear. Sometimes keep it real. And like even when I coach relationships, right, men and women, I explain the very first thing I do with every couple is help men and women understand one another, how they I'm not even gonna say comprehend because how they interpret things, right? So men like DMG said, we're more logical. Like we gonna tell you more what we think. Women are gonna tell you what they feel more. So I tell women to make things make sense when you're talking to a man. What I mean by that is make it logical. If you want something, you need to tell them why it's important to you. If you, as a woman, if a man cares about you and you tell them something is important to you, I promise you, if they care about you, I'm not saying every man, if they care about you, they go climb hills, run through fucking mountains. They go do some crazy shit to make it happen for you. If you tell them why it's important to you, that's how you make it make sense to men. Help men understand why things are significant or important to you, right? And when men communicate with women, You have to tell them how you feel about things. All that logic shit, they don't really care about making it make sense. No, oh, this makes you feel good. I'm gonna get it for you. I'm gonna do it for you. Man, that's all I gotta tell my wife. I don't tell my wife like when I tell her, I'd be like, man, if I get this, I'd be so happy. She'd be like, she'll go buy that shit the next day. But if I tell her, oh, if I get this, I can do this with it, I can do that with it, she gonna be like, what? That shit she go tune out. But if I tell her how it make me feel, oh, she definitely go she'll run through a wall to get it. Oh, this will make me happy. This will make me feel great. This will make me feel important. See, man, she gonna do it. Men are also the protectors because they can also hold an indifference towards things that go against the moral code, and their moral don't change when they switch the room. Exactly. And if and this is like with these conversations, like we adults, right? We adults. So like with these conversations, I like to uh separate men and males. I like to separate women and female because a female is not a woman. A woman is a fully developed female. A man is a fully developed male. Just because you're of age don't mean you're fully developed, not mentally or even emotionally, right? A lot of people mature physically, but they don't mature mentally nor emotionally. And that's just two aspects of maturity. You know, there's different aspects pertaining to life that you can mature in, but those three pertaining to our individuality is physical, which we all do innately. That happens innately, right? But when you're talking about mentally and emotionally, that's a process that we all have to go through. And some of us go through it and never benefit from it, right? Some of us go through it. Life is constantly putting you in these different processes, but it's about your perception and how you go through it. Do you learn the lessons in life? And do you not only learn, but do you adapt and adjust as you go? You know, that's what we see and what we hear. Yeah. Rudy, what up, though? Rudy. Yeah. So, even in that aspect, and I was just telling my wife this too. This is the thing about a want and a need, too. A want, like I said, it's a desire, but a want can turn into a need, but a need will never turn into a want, right? So, even how we look at our significant others, like when we getting into a relationship, how men look at women and how women look at men. Most men, I'm talking about fully developed women and men. I'm not talking about the immature ones. You know, most men look at women like, can you take care of the home? Are you good mother material? Right? That's how we look at women. That's how we supposed to. I'm saying the mature one. But we also look at the aesthetics too. You know, men like looking at things that's beautiful. You know, we are driven innately off our visual senses. So we like appeasing things to the eye. We like shiny things. You know, we like to look at things and imagine. So yeah, we look at women, but a man, like a male, when I was a kid, I just look for women. And this is the thing too, when I say want and need. When I was younger, I was just looking at women like what I hit, right? I'm being honest. We gonna be we adults. We gonna be honest. I'm like, hey, I wasn't thinking about no relationship. I just wanted to hit. And when you look at desire, it's just something to possess or to control. That's all I want. That's why most men can run around and listen to what I'm saying, possess or control, right? That's why men and women look. A woman will leave a relationship because she's not getting what she needs out of it, the protecting and providing. If a man can't protect and provide for a woman, then what a woman with them for? So the man don't have to. A woman will pick a man who can protect and provide, and he might be ugly. He might not be appeasing to the eye, but he can get the job done, and she'll be happy with that. She'll be content with that. But a man get with an ugly woman, eventually, like I said, it's just to possess and to control. Once he finds something better, he'll go. This is why men think when they cheat, there's nothing wrong with it. This is the ideology, women. Now check this out. Check this out, women. This is the ideology. This is what I'm telling y'all. This ain't to cause no discourse or no battle of the sexes. It's to help you understand. This is why when men cheat, they think it's no big deal. But if you cheat, then it's an issue, right? This is why. Because you are one. You're a one. They only desire to possess and to control you. So when you do it, that's their possession being tainted. That's someone else possessing their possession. Not even the fact that you cheated. It's the fact somebody else was possessing their shit. That's what the big deal is. You let somebody else in my what ain't that what ain't that what be being said? You let somebody else in between my legs. That's my like what? It's about possession. And they don't think it's a big deal when they do it because you're not in possession of them. They're in possession of you because you're a one. Now, like I said, a want can develop into a need, right? So once a man is content with the want they have, they would develop the need for the woman. They can develop the need for a woman. They can. And I'm not saying there's things that men don't need from women. Well, I'm gonna say it like this. Men, what women give men is clarity. Now rock with me, right? Because like I said, a man will protect and provide for themselves. They will do that. Man can protect and provide for themselves, right? So they don't need a woman to protect and provide for, but a woman gives them clarity of what they protecting and providing for. Now they have more, um, a bigger outlook. Now they have a more clear purpose of what they protecting and providing. They have a clearer purpose of what they protect. So women, that's why when they say it's always a good woman behind a good man is always a great woman, or however that saying goes, because she gives them clarity, gives them almost direction. Woman can provide that for a man, but again, that's a want because need is associated to survival, and even that men need women to procreate. Now, even that, like when I said, why is it so easy for men to walk away? You don't really hear. I mean, you hear it, you see it. Women walk away, but that's not as common as men walking away because the need to plant a seed is different. I mean, the need to plant a seed is different from having a baby. A man can plant a seed, and his legacy is going on if he nurture it or not. If he in it or not, once the seed is planted, then and the seed is grown, then shit, his legacy continues. So even when it comes to procreation, the reason I don't associate need to the male aspect is because there's no forward thought, meaning there's no thought after the son, no forward thought involved. Men can plant a seed and walk away. A woman can't. I mean, unless she get a baby away when it's born and walk away. But a woman, once the seed is planted, she got 9 months to deal with. She can't just walk away. That's why, like, even in the arguments, when men say, "Oh, I can go, impregnate all these women," but a woman can only be impregnated by a man and got to wait 9 months. That's true, but that's where the dynamics come in because the reason it's built like that within those 9 months while she carrying and after, the man is there, supposed to be there to protect. That's why it's built that way. It's not built for men to just go around, drop seeds, and walk away. No, you got to protect it. You got to protect it. Even like when you plant seeds outside, you put it in a garden bed with some wire around it. So what? So the animals won't come in and dig up the seed. You have to protect it. That's how it's supposed to work. That's why it's built that way. It's not built for men to just go keep planting seeds and shit. No, it's built for her to carry and the man to be there to protect and provide while she's carrying. That we the defense mechanism. Women are more vulnerable when they carry. That's when the defense mechanism should kick in. This might be controversial, but remember when we used to have a rain first becomes the fact that it don't play well because women never seem to pick Mr. Right first. Yeah. And see, it's like now, like even from that comment, right? Now I from that comment, we would have to say this too. From that comment. Um it can be more detrimental for a woman to pick the wrong man than a man to pick the wrong woman. It can be more detrimental to the woman to pick the wrong man. Even from that comment. So, um, like even talking about arranged marriages, like my wife is Middle Eastern, so coming from like her culture doesn't like her family didn't do it, but her culture does it. And being around, like I worked in a hospital for years, so then I didn't even know a lot of these people. Like when you see them around their spouse, you wouldn't know they was an arranged marriage. But I worked around, and I'm in Detroit, so uh, this is kind of like New York. It's like a smorgasbord, right? A lot of different races of people. So just being around people with arranged marriages, and I used to ask them like, well, how did they choose? Well, they chose predicated upon the character of the family and assuming that the family's character will come out in the boy. So that's how they chose, you know. Not only with the dowry, but the actual character. Like, is this a good standing? Are they status? Um, and it was to avoid women choosing the wrong men to marry because it was like in a lot of these cultures, it's okay for a man to marry two, three times, but it's not okay for the woman. So you got to get it right the first time. You know, so even in the arranged marriage aspect, um, like living in today's society, you think like that's not ideal because um, the way we have the way society is now, right? The freedom and the liberties that we have, I guess. But um, to put you in a good position in life, I understand. I'm not saying I agree. I got a girl and a boy. I never do an arranged marriage. I let them live their life the way they choose to. They got to make the mistakes. My job is to make sure the mistakes ain't huge, but ultimately, they got to make them. But ideally, I understand. I don't have to agree to understand why something uh, can work. and I totally understand it. And I have seen arranged marriages that were worked out great. They end up falling in love, then I seen some that they hate each other. So I mean, I never looked at statistics to see anything like that. A liar had about 9 females he shared. Yeah, man. Yeah. Why are so many? That's a good. Hold on, I'm about to answer that question too. Actually, women tend to be more selfish, not selfish inherently for survival, just like the one female. I mean, and I don't disagree wholeheartedly with that. Um, and the reason I don't agree with that, I think they should be. I think women, um, and I'm gonna tell you a couple reasons why. One, because the selection is thin already, is more women than men, and two, a lot of these men or males don't live up to men, and just to settle, then like I said, it can be detrimental for you. So I think you should be selfish. I think men should be selfish too when they picking a significant other. If it don't work for you, then it don't work for you. Like me looking at my wife, right? I'm selfish. I want the things that I want, and if she can't provide them, then I wouldn't have been with her. Flat and simple. Through my experiences, this is my second marriage. I've been through multiple relationships where I got the short end of the stick. So now I came to the understanding, like, if I don't get what I want, then I'm not settling no more, right? And she was the same way. If I can't live up to these standards, then she's straight. She's straight. She's straight. So I mean, I agree with that. You know, I agree with. I feel like if I can't, like, even now, with my disability, you ask my wife, he'd be like, she she constantly tell me, like, she got friends or whatever. She constantly tell me, like, damn, you fucked up. You got this wrong with you. You got that wrong with you. But you still doing more than these other dudes. Like, you doing more than they husband, and they ain't even fucked up like you. They ain't even fucked up like you, and you still doing more than them. And she say how lucky she is. Because when I lost my eyesight, I told her, like, shit, I wouldn't be mad if you did. I'm not fully blind, I'm legally blind. But I can't do half of the shit I used to do. But I told her, like, shit, if you want to dip, I'm cool. I understand, I'm all right. I said I'm all right. But shit, she stuck with me, and you know, I still make it do what it do, regardless of what limitations I got. But I ain't gonna say men, because that's how men are. That's a natural attribute of men, of figuring out shit. You figuring out to make look, if the shit break, you figure out how to make it work. That's the only goal we have, is to figure it out. Now males, no, they wait around for other men to get the shit done for them. I don't like when people, like, when a dude can't change his tire. I understand if you don't know how to work on your car, but if you can't change your tire, what the fuck is wrong with you? Well, basic shit. You don't know how to use a screwdriver and hat. What's wrong with you? You don't know how to defend. You can't fight. What's wrong with you? I teach the women in my family how to fight. When a man can't protect himself, how you gonna protect a woman? I'm gonna go get a gun. What if the, I ain't even gonna get into that. Anyway, actually, women. So yeah, I don't agree. I mean, I don't disagree. Greek kingdoms have fallen over Rome. Yeah, man. The whole black community, where there's ghettos. and stuff. The shambles do for the women selecting the wrong man to reproduce with and starting the cycle of young men following in those footsteps. Now, to be honest with that, um, I'm not gonna put it on. I can't put it on the people. I think that shit designed that way. It was designed, the conditions, the situation. When we're talking about like ghetto, it was designed that way. It's like it's like one of them mazes they put rats in, right? You'll see a whole bunch of rats go in there, but only a few come out, right? Yeah, it's like a training ground. I'm like, I wasn't born in the hood. I moved into the hood. I was born in the backwoods, so that was a struggle. But moving to the hood was different, right? Like in the backwoods, we just struggling with like, uh, I guess you want to say just like poverty. It's a difference. Poverty is different in the backwoods than it is in the hood because in the backwoods we just stuck together, right? And I didn't even know, I wouldn't even consider us poor because of the way the community was, right? Like my grandmother grew some stuff. We had a couple people who hunted, so we always had food. Like we used to run vegetables. I used to take Miss Mabel some vegetables, and when I come back, I'm bringing some vegetables back from her garden. I go take some vegetables to Mr. Jesse, and I come back with meat. You know what I'm saying? So we looked out for one another. It was like a tribe, right? But in the hood, it's different. It's like every man for himself. It looks like everybody for themselves. And so the struggle was real. It's like you don't only have to fight poverty, you got to fight the people too. You got to fight people too. So instead of helping, you working against one another and you working against poverty. So, um, but I understand what you're saying. Like women selecting the wrong man because I'm gonna be honest with you. Me personally, I believe in accountability, right? And it takes two to tango, right? But I think I think y'all need to be more selective of who y'all let in between y'all legs, especially letting them, get off. I think women need to be more responsible and held more accountable. Just because the dude talk good and sweep you off your feet, I don't think you should because it's highly likely that if he walk away, you still stuck, right? You stuck. If he walk away, he can walk away. That's been proven through decades that men are willing to impregnate women and walk away. That's been proven, right? Well, males. I'm not gonna say men, males. It's been proven males will impregnate women and walk away. That's been proven. So you have to be more cautious. That's like if I live in a bad neighborhood and they rob people. Like when I came up in the street, right? It was the first time if you ever been shot, you realize like this shit don't feel good, and now it's a possibility because the shit happened to you, right? So I used to go to the corner store with a bulletproof vest on because I got shot in the butt, right? So I can only imagine getting hit in the chest. Nah, I'm straight. So I started putting the vest on because I knew I was out there doing stupid shit and people were shooting at me. So okay, I got to take more precaution because I know this is a possibility. That's how women need to be. It's a possibility when you have intercourse with a man, and if you get impregnated, he can walk away. And guess what? You stuck. It was where is hold on, did I miss it? No, it was where's your logic where's logic thing at? She asked the question herself though. Um, yeah, I can't even find the question. Hold on. What was it? Man, ain't never been about love. That's some marriage is about duty and responsibility. Yeah, as they married, we can build family and then build community with less time and hold them together with productive citizens. Yeah, I think marriage is good. I think marriage is good. I think if it's done the right way, it can be horrible too. I was in a horrible marriage before. It can be fucking horrible, bro. But it can be fucking like I'm in a wonderful marriage now. I've been through some traumatic shit since I've been with my wife, but like she hold me down, bro. When I'm weak, she's strong. When she weak, I'm strong. You know, is I'm lucky to find someone to be on the same page, man. It's not easy. I'm not gonna lie to you, but if you settle, you'll never get it. If you settle for some shit, you'll never get it. And I stopped settling. And there's a lot of things that was involved. We both, we both been through some shit. We both mature. We both understood what we desired and wanted. Um, so we had an understanding, you know. We had an understanding. We had these conversations, clarity, like, and understanding what the expectations for one another is. If you're a good man, she ain't going nowhere. That's true too. And that's the and see now that being said right here, like check this out. Now is not um for me, from my experience, but I've heard stories and I've seen things. But when a woman is satisfied with a man, she locked in, right? She locked in. I truly believe that when a woman, I'm not saying a girl, not saying a female, I'm saying a woman, a mature woman, when she locked in, no matter what, because like my wife beautiful, man, and she get hit on by doctors and motherfuckers with way more money than me all the time. Before we was dating, the shit was happening, but she attractive woman, so people hit on her, right? She don't care about none of that. She wants somebody who will respect her. She wants somebody who will love her, who protect and provide for her. That's what she wants, and she expects certain things. Like when I say provide, it's not just a shelter roof. No, she wants someone to provide emotionally and spiritually for her. That's what she needs. And that's what I can do. I'm capable of that. A lot of men ain't capable of providing emotionally for women, but I am. That's why we mesh perfectly. I know a lot of women desire that, right? They want a man who can provide for them emotionally, a man who can read them. That's why women always say, "You supposed to know. You should know by now what I want." Like a lot of women desire that. I'm very observant. It's just natural for me to study shit. So I've been studying her. Like my wife she'll tell you, I know her better than she know herself. I can predict it shit my wife say and do all the time. Almost any woman I was with, I did that. Like I'm just observant, right? But that's right. If a man can have a good woman and fuck around on her, why is that? Because she's a one. She's a one. After he fucked up, he realized he fucked up. There's no forward thinking. There's no forward thinking. But then it was a question that you had. I was like, oh, my childhood fucked up, man. Now you had a good question. I can't even find it. It was something about. Oh, here we go. Why are there so many men that are bad to pick from? And that's because, like I said, it's not only that you know, um, but even like men are. I'm gonna say it like this. I think this is the best way to say it. Men are not developed the way they used to be. right? We just not. This generation is going soft as hell. Soft. Like it's soft. This generation is soft. You got men who don't like back in the day, men were able to control their emotions a lot better. To control. Almost omit emotions, eliminate them motherfuckers. Now you got men, because a woman disrespected them, they unalive them. You know, an emotional man is dangerous. That's fucking dangerous. An emotional man is way more dangerous than an emotional female because we designed to tear shit up. Man, that's why, like, I tell women, do not challenge these males. Do not challenge them. Not because you're afraid of them, not because you're weaker. No, no, that's not why I'm telling you that. I'm telling you that because an emotional man is more dangerous than a woman. And you might think of verbal altercation, they already thinking physical. They already think if you get a unmatured male, and you challenge him, it's going to get physical. I promise you it is because that's how we built. Men only submit to more power. Average men, if they see something that like they know bigger, stronger, and they can't fuck with it, they submit to it. If they think they got a chance, they go fight. We get physical. Women, y'all normally, talk shit. Y'all good with y'all words. Y'all battle with words. Not saying, I mean, women fight too all the time. Women fight a lot too, but hey, Ati, what? Was that my wife who called me? Uh-oh. I think my daughter coming. But yeah, that's why I tell women do not challenge men. Just don't do it. Because you don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know who you're dealing with. You expect to have a conversation on words, but you get popped upside the head. Not saying it's right. I'm just telling you how to avoid shit like that. Don't challenge men. Don't challenge them. Well, as soon as you see a male getting aggressive, man, walk away from that shit. No point. Because all males can't control it. All males aren't men. A man, like I'm not about to say it. Me personally, I'm gonna just tell you this. I'm not arguing with no female. I really don't care what females like when they start getting out. I don't really care about that shit. I'd be like, man, fuck out of here. I don't want to hear that shit. I ain't about to put my hands on them, but I'm just not gonna pay. Like you're not a, and don't take this the wrong way. You're not a threat to me. So I don't really care. Like I don't feel threatened by females. Me personally, I don't feel threatened by females unless you got a weapon. Then it's like okay. Now it's on. Like now I gotta pay attention. But other than that, it's like, man, I just feel like females go pop off. I've been raised around females. So females go pop off. They will say whatever they want to say. And me personally, I'm not even, you ain't gonna win an argument with a female. You're not. And if you do, then kudos to you. Cause I'm not even entertaining. I'm not even sitting about to sit there argue with no dude. But definitely ain't about to sit there yell and scream. You ain't go, no, man. Nah, I ain't about to do that. I ain't about to go back and forth with them. But it's some men who enjoy that because they want to dominate and they want to control. That's all. We can have that conversation. We got that conversation too. Why is it a desire for men to dominate and control? Why is it a desire? And I can tell you why. They have no self control. Because once you get into the mode of self mastery, you like, look, it's already hard enough to control me. I don't need to control nobody else. That's the epiphany you have when you begin self mastery. You realize, man, anything outside yourself ain't meant for you to control. Not by force. There's other ways to control, and you begin to develop that. If you teach other things self mastery, it begins to master self. That's another form of control. Like in martial art, my senfu, which is master or whatever, he told me the best way to control others is to allow them to think they're in control. And the best way to allow people to think they're in control is to develop the method of control. And I didn't understand what he said. Like I'm like, what the fuck does that mean, right? But the more and more I practice and having conversations with him, he showed me. He said the more discipline and the more control you in, the less I have to discipline you and the less I have to try to control you. And that's the best form of control. It's creating a disciplined person who's disciplined, who has morals, who has value, because they will control themselves. So even equate that out of martial arts into society. What do you think morals and values are for? What do you think laws are for? The people who have high morals and high values and obey the laws shows high self control, but it's still a form of control that was given to them. It was a template. These are morals. These are values. Follow these. These are laws. Follow these. See, that's still a way to control people, but it's not a bad way if it's beneficial, right? It's not a bad way if it's beneficial, but that's why we have those things. That's a form of control. And if people have discipline, then they will conform and abide by the law. My bad. I don't know. Riders, what up, sis? I've heard the quickest way to lose a man is to get pregnant or ask him for money. Oh shit. Now let me tell you a funny story about that, right? Your average life thinker. So my grandmother raised me up until the age of 9, right? And then I moved with my mom, and then at 15, my grandmother moved back in with us. So I had her up until I was 24, and she passed away. And when she passed away, I wasn't a person. Growing up, I wasn't allowed to cry. I was told not to cry. So I wasn't a person. I was very stoic. Like when I was younger, this the most you'll ever catch me talking is online. Like in real life, you sit around me, you'll be bored. I wouldn't talk this much. I don't talk like this. On here I talk a lot. But anyway, so my grandmother was like, I didn't know how to process that, right? So I just kind of focused on taking care of my mom, and I met this girl at this time. I was just newly divorced. I met this girl, and I just needed something to occupy my mind, right? So I'm talking to this girl. We end up dating, uh, and she told me she was pregnant, right? So when she told me she was pregnant, I'm like, damn. I had just I was divorced probably about 5 months, 4 or 5 months. So I moved back in with my mom. So I started looking for apartment. I start putting buying shit for the baby and all this shit, right? And after Christmas, I was like, I'm gonna tell my mom. So I told my mom, and my mom was like, "Oh, when did you do the pregnancy test? How far along is she?" I'm like, "Oh, we never did a test." And she looked at me. She said, "You never did a test?" She said, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." She was like, I was like, "Why?" She was like, "Because you're making all these preparations, you don't even know if she's pregnant." I'm like, "Well, she said she was pregnant." She was like, "Get the test done." And when she said that, I started thinking. Now, when I tell you I was going through some shit at this time, it wasn't until having that conversation with my mom that I realized, like, hold on, man. Even after she told me she was pregnant, whole time we've been using condoms, right? And I know shit happens, so I'm like, okay. giving her a benefit of the doubt, right? Mind you, I just met this girl. Uh, we 2 months in. I just met her, right? But I'm thinking like, okay, she already got a kid. You know, I done knocked her up. I'm a responsible person, man. I'm gonna take care of my business. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. Be cool. You know, we can develop a. That's how I'm thinking, right? Went to the pregnancy test. She ain't pregnant. So I'm like, bro, for a whole month you had me thinking you were pregnant. You know you weren't pregnant. Well, I missed my period. I'm like, did you have it after you missed it? She never said nothing. I'm like, damn, bro, you gonna play me like that? Oh shit, boy. I'm telling you, you will get got out here if you ain't you gotta keep your head on the swivel, man. But that was my fault because like I said, like I'm not even making no excuse. I'm just giving you an explanation of what happened and what occurred. Like I identified I mean, I was going through some shit, right? And when you going through a loss like that, like I still haven't really processed my grandmother passing, right? I still haven't really processed that. And but yeah, that was I wasn't thinking clear. Just simple as that. I wasn't thinking clear. And like I could have got, I could have got. Because she even said, well, if I'm not pregnant now, I don't mean I can't get pregnant. We can still like hell no, we ain't still doing all this. Fuck you mean? Fuck you mean? Nah, bro. Hell no. Now I gotta watch your ass. I'm supposed to be able to be vulnerable around whoever I'm dating or whoever I'm in a relationship with. Now I gotta watch your ass. And then when I start saying other shit, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. So yeah, I had to dip from that. I had to dip from that. But yeah, but that's my your daughter won't fall asleep. Man, she came out of you. Uh-uh. No, that's more you. She was in you for 9 whole months. She was in me for I don't know how long. Nah, that's your fault. That's your fault. And now she my daughter. Mm-mm. Now she do act like me. See, that's the scary part. My daughter act like me now. She act like me as I am now. My son more like me when I was young. My daughter act like me now. Attitude, bro. She be grimming the shit out of people, bro. People will say hi to her. She'll look at them and turn her head. Then she'll look out the corner of her eye like, y'all still looking at me. I don't want to talk to you. My daughter are cold, man. That's my minute. Come here. Come here, Nana. So whatever we need to talk about. The Renaissance Festival. Yeah, we're going to the Renaissance Festival. Uh, she and my wife a nerd, man. I love that about her though. She a nerd. I remember the first time she was like, "Look," and I'm look. This is how I talk. All right, don't take no offense to what I'm saying. I just be saying some shit, right? But when she was like, "Yeah, let's go to the Renaissance Festival," I'm like, "Man, I ain't doing that white shit. You fuck going to a goddamn Renaissance Festival, man. I love that shit. Now I'm going to get me a damn turkey leg. Shit, I wish I can throw the poles. Them motherfuckers be throwing these big ass logs. I'm like, I can do that. They ain't throwing midgets, but they throwing logs. So I'm like, shit, I can do that. But nah, I be hyped to the Renaissance Festival. That should be funny as hell. They be having a little, yeah, it'd be, I ain't think it'd be that many black people there, but it'd be a ton of black people dressing up and shit. It's fun, man. I like the Renaissance Festival. Even if I go in there, she ain't going to sleep. She on 10 right now. And she only took like a 15-20 minute nap. She ain't even nap for long. She just on one right now. She literally on one. But I'm trying to think, like, I didn't give her, I don't think she had no candy today. I don't think she had nothing sweet today. I mean, she had some fruit. She had that juice. But no, usually she knocked out right about now. Like 8:39, she knocked out. But when her mama home, she don't go to sleep. She be up kicking it. It's still early. It's not even it's about to be 1 o'clock now. It's about to be 1 o'clock now. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I want. Like I just wanted to explain the dynamics between that'd be like if men and women looked at each other and understood the difference between want and need, I think it'd be a lot smoother interacting, having an interaction, and I think if we honest, right, women, if y'all honest with yourself and y'all look at men and understand that you're not a need to them, that you're a want, that you will be able to develop that want into a need. It'll naturally happen if you understand what a man wants out of you, and it'll help you pick a more direct. Because if a man tell you like, "Baby, I need you," I'm telling you, you don't want a man to need you. Think about what women. Check this out. You do not want a male that needs you. Need is due to survival. If a man needs you to survive, his ass will be sitting on your couch, eating some beans and rice, playing a video game, using your car when you go to work. Them are men that need you. Y'all, this is what I'm telling y'all, ladies. I'm trying to help y'all. Don't think about the whole aspect of need and want. One is more significant or more important than the other one. No, just take shit for what it is. Look, this is how it is. This is how it's gonna be. Right? You find a man who wants you, who desires you, and he desires you for the right reason. That desire will develop into a need. Right? That desire will develop into a need. The more you get it, the more you gonna want it. The more you get it the right way, the more you gonna want it. The more you protect a man's peace, the more a man desires that. If he understands or comprehends what's going on. See, a lot of women, y'all good at protecting a man's peace. He just don't know what the fuck it is. He don't know how significant that is. He don't know how important that is. You find a man who understands the importance of a woman protecting his peace, you're good. That's a cheat code. Find a man who understands how important it is for his peace to be protected, and you provide that. Like you said, a good woman will never leave. A woman never leave a good man. You find a man who understands how important it is for his peace to be protected, and you can provide that. He will never fuck around and leave you. They'd be scared to, because once you get that shit, you know what it ain't, and now you got it. You ain't gonna let that go. Peace of mind. Oh shit. You can't buy it. That can't be bought. That can't be bought. Like my wife, look, my wife don't nag me. Like if she wants something fixed around the house, she might be like, "Hey, man, this ain't fixed." But she don't nag me. She don't talk down to me. I don't have to battle the world and come home and have to battle my wife. If she home and the kids getting too loud, she like it'd be times like I'd be like, "Babe, why you ain't waking me up?" "Oh, you asleep." "I got it. Don't worry about it. I want you to relax." That's my wife, like commonly. That's her common phrase. "I want you to relax. I know you need a break. You need this. You need that." My wife protects my peace. If I'm stressed out, my wife be like, "Why don't you go grab something to smoke and go in the back? This, and you want me to make you some coffee?" Every morning I wake up, there's a pot of coffee, man. My wife don't get into no crazy conversations until I go do my routine. I go smoke. I drink my coffee. I meditate. Now my head is I'm functioning, right? I ain't all discombobulated. I done got my shit together. Then I come and do what I need to do. That's my routine. I've been doing that since I've been with her. You don't complain about it, nothing. If anything, she adds to it. What you need, some coffee? To make sure I got my shit to smoke. What else you need? Come in the house. You want French toast? What you want? You want sausage? You want bacon? What you want? That woman protects my peace. You think I'ma fuck that up? I've just seen dudes come online and fuck up relationships, working with people online. Like you ain't appreciate what you had at home. If you look, it's one. Look, man, I'm gonna get off here in a minute, right? Because I'm gonna get petty. It's one thing to fuck up your relationship with some shit at work that you see every day. Okay, I'm not giving you a pass on that, but I'm saying that's understandable. But how you fuck up a relationship talking to virtual people, you DMing people, and you fuck up your shit at home? Like you fucking weird. But males will do that. Males will do. It's been people on here fucked up relationships because they flirting with people online. Like you ain't never seen these people. You don't even know if you been catfish. You looking at an avatar, listening to a voice. Motherfuckers got AI voices, voice tape, all this shit going on, and you gonna fuck up some shit that's guaranteed. You must ain't appreciate. You must ain't appreciate. Most likely he's running game. I will say this. I will say this. If a man needs you, he will show you before he'll tell you that he needs you. Like if a man is telling you, think about this, your logical thinker. This is the formula I gave my little sisters, right? Words are built to produce expectation, right? That's what words are built. That's what words do. It builds expect. When somebody says something to you, you start looking for the shit, right? You begin to expect it. So, like from that statement, a man will show you that he needs you before he tells you that. A man, I think most men, we got too much pride to say some shit like that. We'd rather just show you, like, look, damn, baby, look. And you know how we'll show you? By taking care of you, by providing for you, by protecting for you, by making you feel that shit. You'd be like, man, my gas tank gonna eat up. Don't worry about it. You say that shit 2 times. This is how you know when a man needs you, right? You ain't gotta tell him shit. He already know it. When men need something, they make it a priority. When men need something, they make it a priority. So if a man is making you a priority, that's him telling you he needs you. A man telling you, baby, I need you, that's game. So I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Ain't no man about to sit here and tell you. Like I tell my wife, I think I told I don't know. Ask her if I don't know, baby, are you still in the chat? Have I ever told you I need you? I don't know if I ever told my wife that. I always tell her I love her and I appreciate her and I go crazy without her. I guess that's the way I tell her that I need her. But I'm a damn show her. I'm a show her every day that I need her. I'm a show her. But as far as telling you, I don't have to run game on my wife. Like if I say something, I only tell my wife shit I'm gonna do. That's the only thing I really tell my wife is like things I'm gonna do, and that's planning ahead for me. I tell her I love her every day. I tell her how great, how much I appreciate her, and how much my life has become better since she in it. I do tell her stuff like that. I just tell her the truth. I don't know if I ever told my wife I need her. That's like I only. I mean, that sounds like somebody begging a woman to stay. Baby, I need you. I need baby, baby, I need you. That's what that sounds like. That's what that sounds like. But y'all know what I always say, man. I'm here for a good time, but hopefully not a long time. And yeah, it was a good conversation, man. I appreciate off the comments in the chat. You know, I would love like an open panel to, you know, Have a conversation. I don't know, man. People don't really like having conversations with me, but I don't know why. I'm a cool dude, man. I'm a cool dude, and I value people's opinions, man. You know, even if, like I said, even if you disagree, I mean, the only thing we can do is talk about it. You know, I am a follower of Dr. John Henry Clark. So when it comes to debating, I mean, the shit I know, I don't really feel like is too many people who will actually debate me on things I know. Uh, I only debate my peers, and we gonna do it right. I want to see information, but yeah. But from this aspect, I think we hit the nail right on the head, son. And like I said, I wasn't having this conversation uh, to say one is more significant than the other because neither one exists without the other. That's just reality. Man won't exist without women. Women won't exist without men. No, that's just reality. You know, uh, I don't. I'm not. I don't see the purpose. I'm not comparing myself to no woman. I think we different. We built different. So I don't see the point of even comparing myself to a woman to say is men better or women better. Like when people do that shit, I think I ain't gonna say women. I can understand why women do that, but when men do it, that shit weird to me, man. Like you comparing yourself to a woman, like we're stronger, we're duh. I mean, what we comparing? I don't compare myself to most men. I really don't. Well, I'm definitely ain't about to compare myself to no woman. That's a different species, bro. Different sex. I ain't gonna say different species, but that's a different sex, man. We different for a reason. And predicated upon those differences, women can do some stuff better than I can do. I'm gonna be able to do stuff better than women can do. So there's no comparison. That's like comparing a football player to a basketball player. Yeah, they both play sports, but they play different sports. They play different sports, and there's different requirements out of them. Yeah, definitely. A better you is a better us, man. The better we are individually, the better we are collectively. And look, man, your voice do matter, man. Y'all need to start hitting these links, creating these pounds. Because your voice do matter. And I ain't here to censor nobody, as long as it ain't ignorant. You know what I'm saying? You get to talking ignorant, then I got something for you. But as long as we have a good, respectful conversation, it's good to go. And I, I, I got high emotional intelligence, so I don't do all the triggering and shit like that intentionally. It's some things like this conversation can be triggering. I know it's people who will listen to this and take that I said out of context without fully listening to what I'm saying. But what I'm saying just prove me wrong. And if I'm wrong, then I want to be corrected. But um, yeah, I just know some things is what it is, right? And when it comes to the interactions with men and women, men want women, women need men. Like that's I mean, and until I see otherwise, somebody break it down and explain it otherwise. I hear women all the time that say, "Men need women, men need women," but the same women who be saying that shit be single as fuck, right? They be single. I'm just being honest. They be single. Now you go ask my wife, and when I broke it down to her, she said, "I understand. Yeah, I understand." A lot of you, I can tell. And I'm not saying all single women. I'm saying the bitter single women. There's some women who are bitter, right? And all they do is talk down on men because the only thing they ever experienced was a male. And you can tell because a lot of the stories they say, "Well, I had to help him do this. I had to help him do that. I had." That's a male. That was you were a mother to him. That's why you fucked up. You fucked up. Like I can tell you, I fucked up in my first marriage, right? Fucked up in a lot of relationships I was in. I fucked up. I chose the wrong person. I fucked up. And until I could admit that, I kept making the same mistake. But when I took accountability, I got it right. That's what happens in life. People will fuck up. They will make an excuse or justification. And guess what? They continue in that same fucked up cycle. And they will continue making excuses and justifications of why they fucking up. Instead of saying, hey, I fucked up. Let me fix it. Let me do better. So it be the bitter ones, just like it be the bitter males, bitter ass males on here. Oh, women are just like this. They just want the money. They just want this. I know some women who like, look, I got the bag. I just need the protection and the providing. I can make the money, but I need a man to protect the guy. I need him to be the head of the household. I need him to do this. I need him to play his part. But the money thing is fine. We good on it. I know women like that. And there's some men intimidated by women who make a lot of money, make more money than them. They're intimidated by that shit. Again, I don't give a fuck what a woman. Look, man, I don't care what you got, what you can do. I'm not intimidated by no female. I'm not intimidated by no men. I'm not intimidated. That's not like. But if you intimidated by a woman's finances, a woman's looks, if you intimidated by any of that shit ain't gonna work for you. She out your league. She out. She out your league. Just because a woman make more money than you don't mean you can't provide and protect. That don't mean that. Money is not providing. That's not the end all be all of provision. Money. It's not the end all be all. Not the end all be all. But ladies, if a man is intimidated by anything that you put forward, that's a male. That ain't a man. That is not a man. So avoid that shit. Avoid that shit. Avoid it. Avoid him. And I feel bad for you women. I'm telling you, I feel bad for you women because, like Sis said earlier, it's a slim picking. But just because it's a slim picking don't mean we ain't out there. It's just how you just have to be able to identify, right? You have to be able to identify, and you have to identify what's important to you. Fuck all this society shit, right? Fuck all this society. He gotta be 6 foot. He gotta have a six pack. He gotta no. Identify what's important to you, and even when you do that, okay, make a list. And I'm these are exercises I use with my clients all the time. I use these with my kids. I use it with anybody I'm speaking to, right? My wife. I got my wife making lists, right? Identify what's important to you, right? That's the what, and identify why it's important. And look at it for a week and tell me within a week does any of those things change? It's different when you write it down. It hit different when you write it down and you look at it and you go live life and you come back the next day and you look at it again and you go live life and you come back next day. Some of that shit might not be important that it is uh, when you originally wrote it. If you think about it in life, the things in your 20s wasn't important to you in your 30s. Things that was important to you in your 30s wasn't important to you in your 40s. It changed because you evolve, you mature. So your perception changes. Things so it might be important to have this 6 foot dark skinned chocolate guy, right? But then when you start going through life, you might like say, I can deal with a 5'10" light skinned guy. I can do that. He can have a little belly. You know what I'm saying? As long as he active, he ain't got to make 6 figures. We can make five. We can work with that. Yeah, so I would definitely um say identify. It's already money is providing the wealth is money and abundance is wealth of money. Yeah, but see, this is what a lot of people do. They do a lot of compromising things for money when they're young and when they're older. That's when they start realizing like, okay, I probably shouldn't have did that, or they have regrets. Man, just think about this, man. The person's the average person brain does not fully develop until they're 25. Meaning their frontal cortex, the decision making aspect, right? That shit don't develop until you're 25. And even after you hit 25, it's still your perception of information, right? The older you get, the more like when you get into your 30s, that's why I say you start looking at things different because your perception change. Right? We know everything when we're young, and when we get older, we realize we don't know nothing, right? But when we're young, we know every fucking thing. So I mean, these people making these decisions when they're young, like these women, like like when they was trying to act like being a porn star was cool, and then you watch them when they in their 40s, 50s, like damn, I probably shouldn't have did that. My kids finding this shit online, and they talk about how fucked up that shit is. One girl was like, she unallowed herself because nobody wanted to marry her. She wasn't thinking about that when she was making that money. Even like growing up in the hood, man, you hustling, man, you thinking about making the money, bro. You ain't thinking about what if I get caught, what if I go to jail, what if I get set up, what if you don't think about it until it happens, then you realize it's a possibility, right? But until something happened to you or somebody close on, you don't be thinking about that shit. You just do it. You just doing it. That's how we learn in life is through experience. So we see something and it sound like a good idea. And then we tried and realized like, oh shit. Like Naga was saying the other night, like he had to learn everything by experience. So he had to touch the fire. Even though everybody told him it was hot, he had to touch it to see it was hot. That's how a lot of people learn, bro. That's how most of us learn. Especially if we're not being guided the right way. Right? If we're not being guided the right way. And especially nowadays, it's hard to be a parent, man. My kids ain't even old enough to really be influenced by outside shit, right? They not of that age yet. My son just starting to go to school, so. But even like he was like Jesus. I'm like, bro, who the hell told you about Jesus? I ain't never talked to my son about Jesus. I wouldn't even use the term Jesus around my son, right? If anything, I would say Yeshua. But anyway, and I'm like, where Jesus at? He said in the sky. I'm like, bro, where you hear this from? Well, it was on a cartoon. It was on a cartoon. And I'm like, bro, when did you watch this? Then I realized, like, nah, I got to be on his head even more. Not bad, That he like Jesus. So I broke down, explained to him what Jesus is. I'm still explaining to him what Jesus is because now he think he can look in the telescope and see Jesus at night. Like, nah, bro, he ain't in the sky like that. But oh man, kids, bro, kids. So yeah, so it's just how we got him. Now I'm teaching him like when he say I hate this person or I hate no, we don't hate. We don't put hate in us. We don't want that in us. And I say, well, you know how we get hate out of us? We go outside and ground. I got my kids grounding, doing deep breathing exercise. I'm about to start them with qigong. I'm about to do like different. I'm teaching them different breathing meditation, different poses. They kids, bro. But this shit gonna be normal to them. It's gonna be natural for them to do it. Like my 2 year old, like she be like, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. She know at a certain time when it's time to go outside. She know what 12 o'clock looking like, right? When she see 1, 2 on the stove, she be like, "Daddy, got to go outside." And she do the pyramid sign. I'm like, "Yeah, we're going to do some grounding." And we go outside and ground, man. I got them deep breathing, no exercise ground. And they feel good after that. They feel energized, running around. I got my son calling the sun Ra. Like that's Ra. My wife looking like, who is he talking about? I'm like the son, baby, the son. What is he talking about? You know. Logic thinker, as long as anyone's preference is outside and that's what they're going on. Yeah. That's how most people um that's how most people think. You know, that's why I don't that's why I say most people majority of people are fucking sheep. I ain't gonna lie to you, that's just how I feel. And that ain't gonna change because that's what people show. Most people are sheep, they don't even think for themselves. Most uh everything is outside in and not inside out. That's why even saying insane like is a bad term. Insane means insanity. You're in your sanity. Outsane ain't even a word, but it should be word. But that's when you're out your sanity, meaning you have the outside influencing the in instead of the inside influencing the out. Everything is supposed to come from inside out, but when you're controlled, it goes outside in. Oh shit, bro. People hate things and don't even understand why they hate them. And people love things and don't understand why they love them. I heard a live. No, it wasn't even a live. It was actually a podcast. I was going through. What is that? It's not Spotify. What's that other? Any is a podcast thing I got on my phone. It might be Spotify. I don't know. It's some podcast app. Anyway, so I'm listening to this thing, and this guy he asked. He said, um, as he was asking this other guy, as an individual, what is the most important identification how do you when you identify yourself, what is the most important aspect? Like, is it your race? Is it your belief? Is it your um what did he say? He named three things. And the guy said, I don't know. He said, I guess it depends who I'm talking to. He said, if I'm talking to Christians, well, that's more important in that time. That's important. You know, I'm more of a Christian in this moment than I'm anything else. He said, if I'm talking to a bunch of black people, well, I'm more black than I put my blackness first. So he said, I guess it depends who I'm talking to. And I'm like, I wonder how many people think like that. I wonder how many people think like that because I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't like I don't know, bro. Like, is that right or wrong? I don't I couldn't do no shit like that. That's why I identify as a spiritual being having a human experience. And I stop at that. I don't like boxes. I don't like none of that shit, you know, because I'm gonna be what I need to be, me, and that's just me. Like when people ask me who I am, I'm a divine being. I know I come from a creator. You want to call it Buddha, Allah, you want to call it Yahweh, Melchizedek, whatever you want to call it, God, the creator. I'm talking about the divine, the one who structured everything, the one divineness, that creator. That's why I don't like using the term God. But that creator. Now, how anybody want to identify it, that's fine with them. I identified as the creator of all things. So that creator I'm talking about. I come from that. That's where my essence comes from. My soul, my spirit, that's where it comes from. Now, I have a creator on earth, my mom and dad, and I don't worship anything, but I always show gratitude and appreciation. I don't believe in the worshiping concept. My ancestors didn't. I wasn't taught to worship. I was taught to show gratitude because everything is already given before it was asked for. I was told that a long time ago. So I was always to be grateful for the good and the bad because it's an experience. And just be grateful for the experience. I was taught like that as a kid. So that's what I'm teaching my kids. Like, there's no good or bad. It's just perception and how we feel about it. Now, that perception and how we feel will determine if it's good or bad for us. But that don't mean it's bad for somebody else. So you just have to be aware of these things. 'Cause ain't nothing fair in life. Life ain't fair itself. If life was fair, every sperm cell would have made it to an egg, right? Nah, life ain't fair. It wasn't meant to be fair. Life was not meant to be fair. Life was meant to be survival of the fittest. And that shit start from the sperm making it to the egg. That's proof enough right there. Survival of the fucking fittest. That's how life is built. And if you weak, you get around either some strong people who will take care of you, or you develop into strength. Because if you don't, you will get ate. That's just what it is. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's left. I'm just telling you that's what it is. So, I mean, people be looking for that. Oh, life need to be fair. This needs to be this. And this needs like everything will be perfect. There's no such thing. Perfection is a that's a concept, of ideology given to distract people from progression. There's people who accept that nothing in life is perfect will never strive for anything. They won't strive for it. I hear people make excuse. Well, nobody. As soon as they fuck up, first thing they say, nobody's perfect. Okay, yeah, duh, we know that shit, but that don't explain why you fucked up. That don't explain why you did the shit you did. We know ain't nobody perfect, but that's still not giving the reason of why you did what you did. Mm-mm. Not about being perfect. It's about progression in life. Okay, that's what it's about. Fuck being perfect. Just try to be better. That's all you got to do. You don't have to be perfect. Just be better. I'm gonna get that put on the shirt. Don't be perfect. Just do better. Just do better, man. If you fuck up, realize what you did wrong and do it right the next time. That's all you got to do. That's what progression over perfection means. Yeah, we all gonna fuck up. We all gonna do something wrong. That's how we learn how to do it right. Yeah. Most people don't have knowledge of self. Like I said, if you ask most people who they are, first thing they gonna tell you a couple things. They gonna either tell you what their mom and daddy name, right? This is what they gonna tell you. Either what their mom and daddy name, what uh what they ID or birth certificate, whatever race what they was told they were, and then they gonna tell you a belief system that somebody told them. That's how people identify themselves. Either a name somebody gave them, a race somebody gave them, or a belief somebody gave them. That's how they identify themselves. There's no more individuality, and that's not even in. Like people think individuality is being independent. That's not what individuality means. Don't mean independent. Independent means away from other people. Individual means yourself. So you can be an individual within a group. That's what we are at the nine. We individuals in a group. We got our own way of thinking. Like half the shit I say, they don't agree with. Well, I ain't gonna say they don't agree with, but half of the shit I say, I mean, they don't. You hear me and Gary going back and forth about concept. We ain't belittling one another. We ain't calling each other. No, we just sharing information. He think different from me. That's what makes it so unique. That's what makes life unique. It's the variety. That's how we learn and grow. It's through variety. If everything was the same, it'd be bland as hell. So your individuality does not come with independence. Your individuality can be self-sufficient, meaning you can stand alone if need be. Yeah, you can do that. But you can also function within a group. Uh, Independent can't do that. Independent means away from everything. Independent from everything. Stand alone. Ain't nothing really truly independent. That's not natural. Just look at nature. A tree ain't independent from the soil. It's a tree. Show me a tree growing without soil. Show me a tree growing without water and sunlight. Nothing is independent. That's another concept given to you to fuck you up. Another concept. Nothing wrong with being self-sufficient, meaning you can function alone. A tree don't need a whole bunch of trees around it to be a tree, but it does need cooperation with other elements. Still need that carbon dioxide. It still need that soil. It need that water. It need that sunlight. But it can stand by itself. It don't need other trees. But if you put other trees around it, it'll flourish even more. It'll flourish even more. So that's how we need to be as people. But people be in that drone and that mind, that hive mindset. They be getting their who they are from other people. I, that one dude who came on here, and no shot against no group of people. I rocks with everybody. I got some cool. I know, like in real life, I know some real cool Hebrew Israelites, right? But they ain't like these people online. Like even when we talk, we don't be like these people. We try to force. Like I don't know no practitioner of no religion or spiritual practice that push it on other people who try to convince other people. They too busy practicing, bro. Half of the time, you won't even know what they are unless you ask them or what they believe in. They ain't got no time to tell you that. If it's not they, if you ask them to do something that's against their belief, they say that. Well, that's against my belief, you know. And then I'd be like, oh shit, okay, my bad. But they'll tell you because they're practitioners. They ain't convincing, you know. So like that one Hebrew Israelite, we ask them questions like, well, what are you? Oh, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. What tribe? Right? What tribe you come from? He couldn't tell me what tribe. Well, Hebrew Israelites recognize the 12 tribes. So which tribe are you from? Couldn't tell me which tribe. One of them did. The black dude did. He did tell me. But the other dude, I don't know what he was. I don't know if he was trolling me, but he couldn't tell me shit. I believe I'm one of the 144 that's born. Like, what? Are you Hebrew? Were you okay? But he knows something somebody told him, and it resonated with him and made him feel good, so he accepted it. That's what belief is, man. Like when we talk about these concepts, people be so mad at me because they be like, "Oh, you don't believe?" And I'm telling them this is how I know people don't fucking listen; they only hear. I say, "No, I don't believe in God. I know God." Well, you don't believe? Like believing is better than knowing something, bro. You know what entails? Doubt. That's what believe entails. You're accepting something as true. That don't make it true. You're just accepting it as true. Motherfuckers believe in Santa Claus, right? Believe in the tooth fairy. They believe in all this spooky shit, bro. But they don't know it. So belief leads doubt. Do you know what solidifies belief? Faith. And by definition, faith is accepting something without proof. For belief to work, you need faith. You need faith. Some people will tell you faith is a higher version of belief. So if that's the truth, then you're accepting something without fucking proof, without evidence. That always leaves doubt. I'm talking about the human psychology. Fuck the word, you know. I'm talking about if you don't know something, you always go think, well, it could be this or it could be that. It's always gonna leave room for doubt. But when you know something, you go at it differently. You're more ferocious with the approach when you know something. Like if I'm about to get in a fight, like man, I know I'm about to whoop this guy. I'm going in with total confidence. If I go into a fight, like man, there's a possibility I'm gonna be a little bit more timid, be more cautious. But if I know I'm gonna whoop him, I'm just gonna whoop him. I'm just gonna go whoop him, man. If I know, but if I believe I can beat him. Nah, that's when look that quote from Tyson that came from a believer when he said everybody got a plan until they get hit. That's for believers. When people believe, then when they get hit, then they be like, "Oh shit! Like this is real. Like this is real." But when you know, even if you get hit, even if you get knocked down, when you know, you get back up. That's why I could. That's why I am that the way I am. Like people will believe in God, right? And when shit happen, they be like, "Oh God, why God, why you let this happen to me?" People be like, "Why do God let things happen to babies? Why does God let things happen to children?" Like, are you fucking insane? God ain't letting shit happen. That's humans doing shit. That's so fuck people doing fuck shit, bro. They ain't got nothing to do with God. If a baby is in a house and a car come by and spray the house up and the baby get hit, that ain't got nothing to do with God. That's motherfuckers who put the baby in that position, one, because somebody in that house probably did some fucked up the shit to somebody outside the house, not the people outside the house driving through shooting them. That ain't got shit to do with God. That's them people. People don't want to take responsibility. But this what happen when you believe. But when you know God, when shit happened to me, even me losing my sight, I'm like, you know what? This is fucked up shit, man. And I do not want to go through it. But I know God got a plan. I know it was already written. I know this ain't gonna do nothing but make me better. So I'm gonna buckle my buckle. I'm gonna lace my boots up, and I'm gonna go rain. I'm gonna go dance in this shit. I'm a dancing. I'm a dancing because I know I'm gonna be all right. I'm good. I'm good. That's when you know. It's all like for me, like everything. I'm not going. I'm not one of them Bible thumpers who say, um, "God knows is the omnipotent knowing and all that shit." But this is my understanding. God, I'm an essence of the Creator, right? Meaning, God is within me and everything around. And no matter what I go through, I'm never alone. So if something happened, I'm already built for the shit. I'm built for it. I'm built for it because that's how I was designed in the image and likeness of the Creator. So no matter what obstacles, adversity I see in life, I'm built for that shit. So it's up to me to identify the lesson within the experience. And what people call bad, yeah, when I first lost me losing my sight has been a blessing to me. I've been able to spend more time with my kids. It's a gift and a curse. It sucks not being able to drive and do all the shit I used to do. I can't even work out the way I used to, right? I was really into sparring. Like I just always felt like if I stay ready, I never have to get ready. And and that's like something I was into. It was like MMA shit. I'm into that shit. So, and it's fun to me. It's fun to get hit. It's fun to me. But I can't do that no more. So, I mean, but I find other things to do like this shit. I would look. I've never even really been on social media like that. I don't. I'm not even on social media like that now. Even I tried to be like a content creator to go around and do all that. But people like when I meet some cool people, I appreciate. Like I said, I'm a person of gratitude and appreciation. I meet cool people, and I can hang out with them. I love it. I enjoy it. But I can't do that with everybody. People are fucking weird. Like some people are weird, man. Like I can't be around people who can't have their own opinions. Like people can't. I don't have hate in my heart, right? If it's in there, that means somebody put it in there. I'm gonna give it back to that person. That's just how I am. I accept people for who they are. Long as it ain't no hate, I'm good. Because if it's hate or jealousy around, eventually some bullshit gonna happen. That's just how it always is. But people who are unapologetic themselves, I appreciate that. People who can communicate, I appreciate that. Right? We ain't gonna always see eye to eye. But before I assume something, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say something before I assume something. And a lot of things I just learned in life, like man, to let go. Let go, man. No, I like when I was younger, I was petty as hell. I'm still petty. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm petty. Once I get petty, then I'm petty. That's just then I'm there, right? But a lot of shit, bro, I let go. I let shit roll off my shoulders. It's like ain't no big deal. I always this is just like something I live by. I just always decide to be the bigger person. I'm gonna always be the bigger person. Somebody got to do it, so why not me? That's how I look at it. So even if I get in a disagreement, I'll be like, okay, they're having a bad day. Let that shit go. Maybe we need space for a couple days, but we come back and we'll say whatever we need to say and move forward. I be on shit like that because life goes on, man. Life goes on, right? If I'm in it or if I'm not, life will go on, bro. The day I die, the sun gonna rise the next day. That's just how it is, right? So life's too short for all that little bullshit, man. The older I get and the more bullshit I experience, like losing half my eyesight, majority of my eyesight, you realize that shit, like, man, life too short for my feelings to be hurt by something somebody fucking think, bro. Like life is too short for that. You know what, I get upset when people fuck up my ability to provide and protect for my family. That's what it will trigger me. That should trigger me. So if people start kind of spitting on my name or my business, and I think it got potential, I'm gonna defend it. I'm a fucking man, okay? I'm gonna defend my shit with everything I got. I'm gonna defend it. So I know I got triggered. So it's certain things I can't be around. That's me being responsible, right? There's just certain things and certain type of people I prefer not to be around because I'm gonna get triggered, right? I'm gonna get triggered. That's part of self mastery, understanding your triggers and staying away from them until you ain't triggered. And right now, I understand my trigger. Commander, what up, man? I understand my trigger. The lady and the minister of the defense. What it do with the businesses? My bad. I'm laughing in the middle. I can't even say it right. I was just thinking about that when I was talking to my bro. And he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm surprised you ain't go off on more people." I'm like, and I told y'all, like, that's what my brother said. Like he watched a couple shows and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm surprised you ain't go off on a lot." And I said, "Bro, it's different on here." And like, I'm being honest. On here, I'm a lot more patient with people because they're not in my face, and it's like I can just be like, "Fuck it," and block them or do something like that. But I was one of the people like. You can't say whatever you want to say to me. Not in my face. You can't do that. But that's when I was young too. That's like when you're young, you thinking about reputation and all that shit. Now that I'm older, uh yeah, you still ain't just gonna say what you want to say in my face. But I will assess the situation. Like if I'm out with my family and shit, I'll walk away from a lot of things. I just walk away because it's like I put them in jeopardy. But if I'm by myself, you just ain't gonna say what you want to say to me. You're just not. But I still will assess the situation. I start looking around. Like, is there any cameras over here? Any witnesses? Okay, let's go over here where ain't nobody at. No, no, not a good word versus mine. No, I'm joking. Let me be quiet. I get myself in trouble. But yeah, but I think this was a good conversation. Like I said, man, hey man, let me know what y'all want to talk about, bro. I want one of these super panels where we just on here talking about good subjects, man. A lot of times when I get a people full of panel, we just talking about life, and which that's cool. But I want a panel where we actually talking about subject. People are actually expressing their opinion. And feel free over here, man. Like I said, long as there ain't no hate, we don't discriminate, we don't hate. I don't do none of that shit, man. I ain't got it in me, uh, so it ain't coming out of me. So whatever in you, that's what's gonna come out of you, man. So if that is constantly, and I ain't saying this to talk about nobody, I'm just saying it because I'm all about self awareness, self uh, accountability. Look, if you constantly spitting some venom, man, that shit in you. You gotta understand the source of it to get it out of you. You know, you gotta. Damn, who was that today? Somebody was just talking about how Maybe that was the old video. Anyway, they was talking about how people forget, and it was what's his name? Um Jesse Lee Peterson. And he was talking to Charleston White, and he was asking him, did he feel better? Because he said he had a whole bunch of like hate and pain in him, and he said, did he feel better when he took it out on people? And you never do. You may get a temporary relief, but it's something that's in you, and it can, if you project it on other people, it's still in you. You got to do an exorcism, get this shit out of you. You you can't just spit fire on people. No, that shit, that flame's still in your belly. You got to expel the fire. You got to extinguish it. You got to get it out of you for it to stop coming out of you. The temporary projection, that ain't gonna do nothing. Rachel Poo, what up, Ray?
He said, "Ain't you poo?" I
I did that
can't.
because I knew you weren't gonna be expecting that. That's why I did. A bit of a shock value. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, this gonna catch her off guard.
Yeah, he up here trying to be Spider Man, trying to kill Venom, trying to be a past at the same time and give them an exorcist. Like you got to throw him up there in the tower. Make sure you ring that bell. Remember in the movie, that's how Venom came out of his body.
I'd be like John Constantine, man. If I was a preacher, I'd be just like John Constantine.
Yeah, he said, "I gotta get that Venom out of you." He went from Spider Man into a whole damn pastor, yo.
I'm telling you, man. People, they got. I mean, I understand because that's what experience do. Create memory, and those memories develop into different things depending on what the memory is. It can be pain, joy, and then from there you just develop triggers. That shit crazy. Like human psychology is so. It's not. Once you understand it, it's not. It's beautiful, man. It's really fucking beautiful. It's like the way the human brain works, and then you can see the same patterns. And I'm understanding it more as my kids growing up. It's like one thing, like in social media. Shout out to social media. 'Cause let me tell you this, man. I'm gonna tell you this. I'd have read a lot of shit in books. I'd never seen the shit in real life, but on here, I experienced a lot of shit I never seen in real life just through social media. I was able to identify. Like I never like when they talk about the dark triad. That's someone who possessed Machiavellianism. That's somebody who possessed uh, narcissism and sociopath or psychopath or psychopathy. We'll just say psychopathy because psychopathy will cover both of them. But anyway, cover those three things. Like if you have one person embody at all three aspects and they can go from either one, that shit, I've never seen that in person. Not even on TV. Like the closest thing I seen to that was Jeffrey Dahmer. Um, and what's his name? Damn, what was that one dude name? The white dude, who had the little coat thing. Um, why I keep
No,
want to say Marilyn Manson? Not Marilyn Manson. What is his? Oh, damn. I'm gonna
I'm
put
trying
my
to figure out
tongue.
who you talking about.
Um, damn, I can't remember the name of it. I'm gonna remember his name.
Hitler,
That was-
Shelter, dude. I don't know. I'm confused, Commander.
What you say?
She said Hitler. I don't know who Hitler. Hell, wait, that's
No,
got a
he was
L in it. Wait.
what is it? Not Marilyn Manson. It's some Charles Manson. The Manson dude.
Okay, now I know who you talking about.
What is his name? Is it Charles? Yeah, yeah, Charles. Yeah, Charles Manson. That's what I was talking about. I said Marilyn Manson. Yeah, Charles Manson. But I don't think they ever diagnosed either one of them with dark triad. But if you look at the psychological reports, they will say they possessed all three. But at that time, they didn't call it a dark triad. I don't think they called it a dark triad until like the 2000s, like 2008, 2009. And that's when they developed dark triad. And I don't even think that's widely accepted in the world of psychology, but you have licensed physicians acknowledging that this is a thing for grouping of personalities. But I don't think they like officially put it in the DSM.
That's wild. I just read up on him. Okay, so basically, he's another Hannibal.
Yeah, man, but
Oh
he was
shit.
a fucking genius though, bro. He was look, man, look, I don't care. Most of the crazy ass
He ain't
people
topping Hannibal, but yeah, he's another
they
Hannibal.
intellectual, bro. The way he was manipulating people, bro, that shit was
Yeah,
pure
but
genius.
he only has is only 9 victims that he's got. Hannibal got way more. That's why I say he ain't topping Hannibal.
Man, look, them the only bodies we know about.
Yeah, that's what I'm
The
like.
only
But
bodies we
shit,
know.
we know of Hannibal. That's why I was like, right now, according to facts, Hannibal. I don't think nobody's topped him.
Oh shit, you talk about yeah.
Ain't nobody
This
topped
motherfucker's
Hannibal
on.
yet. That nigga was a whole psychologist, therapist. He was everything.
So it was people. What was that lady name over in London? She was a doctor, and she was offing people, and they got her with over like 300 something bodies.
Mm, I, yo, these.
Hmm.
But that's been happening for
You-
years. And what's crazy
you-
is, right, what got me curious on a lot of this stuff, like I did a whole little rabbit hole, right? It was American Horror Story on how the doctors used to do things back in the days, the experiments and all that shit. That's why I'm like, yo, these doctors is wild as shit. The ones with PhDs and MDs, the ones that got, how can I say, experience in psychology. Let me say it
Right.
better. The ones that
You
got,
know what? You know why I was so interested in serial killers, and like I studied a lot because I was trying to understand why these people didn't value human life. Like I didn't understand why they didn't value human life. And then I begin to understand like people don't understand the concept of power.
hmm,
They think power is being able to dominate other people, but it's not. That's strength. So a lot of people run around strong or with strength and never have power because power is the ability to control your strength. Just because I can oppose my will on you, me not opposing my will shows power. That shows power. Me not flexing on somebody because they're weaker or not taking advantage of people because they're weaker actually shows power because that's me controlling me. So I never understood why people didn't value human life. And I mean, I understand to an extent now, but it don't make sense to me. It don't make sense why people do shit like that. But like psychology always fascinated me, like how people come to conclusions and make certain decisions. But the more I learn about it, man, I, the less I feel bad for humanity.
yeah, I ain't lying. That's crazy how a lot of people learn it and, use it to their advantage. And they don't use it for good. You got something to do, but the majority of them,
Now check this out. Now this is something. Okay, so somebody who learned about it and used it for good. What good is it if don't nobody use it? Don't nobody is willing to take it. We always say knowledge is not to be withheld, but when you give knowledge, people won't accept it. So I mean, that's why I used to try to help everybody. I stopped doing that shit, bro. Everybody can't be helped. Everybody don't even. It's not that they can't be helped. It's fact they don't even want to be helped. People, they complain without seeking solution. That to me is bitching. That's beyond complaining. Now you bitching. Complain is to present a solution. That's why if you look at the definition of complain, it's to seek a solution. That's why people do it, right? It's to find, hey, this is fucked up. We need to fix. You know, uh, that's why they complain, or supposedly. But nowadays, people just complain a bit, looking for no solution.
Gary funny as shit. Gary said, "Dang, women are dangerous." Damn, did I say something? Oh
No, I
no, he's
mean,
talking a word.
he
I was
probably
getting ready to say,
yeah,
wait,
he
he
probably
said, "Stop
start, bro.
talking
Start
about me,
looking,
word."
man. You know what shocked me, bro? Go look at the serial killer list, and you'll see these women, and they was fucking vicious, bro. Like these, most of them women was more brutal than men, bro.
Look
Like
at
when they
Griselda.
did, they did it, bro. When they did it, and they was on some brutal shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then you think about it, if a woman taking down a man, you kind of got to be brutal with, you know, because they stronger than you. So it just sticking them or stabbing them or that ain't good enough. You got to go at them. So
Strategic with it
I
on
mean,
some
I
real
don't
shit.
agree with it, but I understand. You know, that's why they was more brutal. Like seconds, like, man, you stabbed somebody over 300 times. How you do that?
Y'all won't go down. That's why.
You right.
Yo, word funny. He's like, damn, it would only took me a few stabs. She went ham on him. Like, yeah, y'all keep
Yeah.
coming back.
Hmm. Like, God damn.
I be telling people, man, women, when we win in reality, is because we gotta use strategy on top of strength. It ain't just by pure freaking strength. And it's funny, people be like, oh, but how about the boxer women and stuff like that? I was like, even them, like, it's all about strategy and strength, and they fighting each other. Like on some real shit. It's not like on wrestling. I haven't seen women fight men on boxing. Unless you practicing out here. You see where I'm coming from. But other than that, no. I know I'm not tripping, am I?
Mm, nah, man. Like, bro. Like that Katie Taylor Man Serrano's the first fight. That's it was nasty. Second fight was nasty too. But that was one of the most brutal boxing matches I've ever seen in my life. With two women going at it. One of the most brutal bare knuckle fights I've seen was women going at it. This woman, her face was all swollen and shit. I'm looking like, God damn, and she teeth missing and everything. He was like, it was fun, even though I got beat up. I'm like, what the fuck you mean it was fun? You looking like Quasimodo and shit right now. Like you talking about it was fun. Your teeth missing and shit. Like hell no.
Funny as shit. Well, but that's some real shit though. Like what you've been talking about today, and in reality, it's all about taking accountability, no matter how people want to look at it. It's something that I've been talking about within my lives for the past few weeks. At the end of it, when you look at it, is accountability, and nobody want to take it.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate. I don't. Is
It's you
is
to take it, but
no, but like people always say it's pride or ego. Uh, I don't think is. I don't even think it's pride or ego. I think it's really low self esteem why people can't take accountability. I think it leads to a person how they look at themselves. You know, to look at yourself. If you ugly and you look in the mirror, say you pretty, you lying to yourself, man. If you're ugly, you're ugly, right? That's just what it is.
I
So,
can't.
I mean, I'm
I,
just
I
being
was
real.
expecting a
You
different example. He used the ugly card. I'm done with work.
know what I'm saying? Like, if you ugly and you look in the
Like I'm a
mirror and
therapist.
you say I'm pretty, you clearly see you ugly. That's self esteem. Like, accept the shit. Okay, I'm ugly, but I can make myself pretty. Right? That's the
Mhm.
difference, bro. Like that's self esteem right there. Okay, yeah, I'm ugly right now. Like I can look I right now look like Wolfman Jack. I clean up
I'm
good. I
dead.
look good when I clean up, and I know I do, right? Because people always say it. So I know I right now I'm ugly. I can go get pretty though. I ain't gonna say pretty because I ain't trying to be no pretty motherfucker. But I can go get cleaned up. So I can always approve myself, but that's my confidence and that's my self esteem in myself to admit when something ain't right and knowing I can correct it. So I would say it's a combination. It's not it ain't got nothing to do with pride or ego why people don't want to admit that they wrong. It's their self esteem and lack of confidence in their ability. The way they look at themselves and what they can do. So they rather just lie to themselves and make excuses and say it's somebody else's fault instead of saying I fucked up. They don't have the confidence to say they can fix something within themselves. So they just blame it or push it on something else.
That's a fact. Let me see what the chat said. Chat, where y'all at? Ain't the chat going silent?
Yeah. I'm about to get my
Hey,
ass off too. I'm about to get this baby to sleep.
I thought she went to sleep. You was going in for a minute.
Oh,
I
she
just
so I just heard her. I just
yesterday.
heard my wife say, I know your daddy be in here soon.
The
I ain't,
commander says she just told her man never underestimate a woman's get back. He gave me a kiss and said he won't.
nah, y'all see, women are more diabolical. This is what I'm saying, man. I don't challenge women. I don't think people should challenge one another unless they're looking for a fight or they're looking to get in combat. So I don't challenge women, man. I don't challenge them way. I challenge men to oppose. No, I don't challenge. But women, y'all diabolical, man. I remember my homeboy told me his
Did.
grandpa when his grandfather passed away when he was before he was born. When his daddy was little, I'm like, "Hey, how your granddaddy passed away?" He said, "Well, he cheated on my grandma, so she crushed up some glass and put it in his ice water." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Damn!" Like, what the fuck? Like he said it all nonchalantly. I'm like, "You serious?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Bro, I wouldn't even think about that." My wife bringing me a glass of water, and this is my doom. Like, God damn. That's how you get a motherfucker. I wouldn't have thought no shit like that. Crush up some glass and put it in his ice water. Mm-mm. That's some shit women to do. That's like I used to watch them. What's them oxygen? What was that? Oxygen or Lifetime, whatever. When Who Did I Marry? And the motherfuckers be putting radiator fluid in the Damn, my mic ain't work. Oh, they be putting radiator fluid in the coffee and the soup and shit. Like, and over time, like, what you mean over time? Like, over the course of a month, the motherfucker keep getting sick and eventually broke. Like, God damn, bro. That's some diabolical shit. You just eating dinner and getting cooking out. That's Look, man, I ain't trying to be funny. You know how they say TV influence? Like you will see like that. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Watching that shit, that's why I never dated white women, bro. 'Cause
Oh,
that's all you see white women doing shit like that, bro. You ain't seen no sisters doing no shit like putting fucking radiator fluid in no soup and shit. Like what the fuck?
it is crazy.
I'm like, man,
Everything you said today is based on need, want, and love. So what does love require?
sacrifice, man. Carlson, man, shout out to Carlson White, man. I know a lot of people don't like him. He got his character on here or whatever, but he be speaking some real shit. And
Who you
somebody
say?
asked Carlson White.
Oh, okay.
Somebody asked him. It was in that interview I was watching with him and Jesse Lee Peterson. And Carlson White, when he asked him what love was, he said, "What are you willing to take from another person?"
Mm,
And love entails some form of, I like to say investment because I'm getting something back, even when it comes to love. So if I lose something, it's more or less me making space for something new. That's just my concept of sacrifice and investment. But even love, I think it takes some form of you letting go of things that you may desire or be beneficial to you for the betterment of others or another person.
hmm,
I mean, to say it's just a feeling, I mean,
real
yeah,
shit.
but it's the action. You can feel it, but what you gonna do with it?
So what does love look like, right? In your opinion, what does love look like when it's not rooted in need or want, but in choice?
Well, a choice.
He's like,
Yeah,
Ray, come on, man, these questions. I was like, yeah, because it makes
no, the question's no, the question's cool because choice itself is predicated upon an option, right? Yeah, that's what a choice is. You selecting from option. A
hmm
decision is uh, a created choice. A decision is when people create the choices, create the options. So,
because it's
I
crazy
mean,
how
it's,
it,
it's always going to be rooted in some form of need or want.
mm, because I was
Love
gonna say that.
is rooted. Love is associated with both need and want. Is associated. Uh, Most people will say it leans more to the want, to the desire aspect, but um, love can come out of a need too. You can love something that helps you survive. You'll fall in love with it just for that reason, for the ability to help you survive. Because that's ultimately what we program to do is survive. The most innate ability of human beings is the desire to survive.
That's crazy. But it's what's crazier is how back then, like even the people that got their how can I say that got their spouse chosen for them. Some didn't fall in love with the spouse that was chosen, while others found a way. I don't know if they found a way. I'm just putting that in there. All right, so I'm just letting y'all know. But to me, they found a way to, either find love in that relationship that was chosen for them. Because somehow, some way, they fell in love. They say. You see where I'm coming from? But they wasn't the
See,
ones that they chose. It was already chosen for them. So it's crazy how you hear them stories, and it's like you say, it's a duality to that shit.
even think about this. People love the race that was chosen for them.
Huh?
People love the religion that was
Oh,
chosen for them. You know what I'm saying? People love being black. And that you didn't choose to be black. You were born black. People love being Christians. And they didn't choose to be Christians, they were born into it. So I mean, because something is chosen for you don't mean you can't develop, right?
mm,
And that happens. I mean, like you said, it's duality. It can happen or it cannot happen. So when you look at the aspect that you're associating duality with is relationship. So, a created relationship or arranged relationship. So you have two sides of it can develop into love. It can develop into hate. Either way, you can go either way.
oh, I can't with these people online. I'm dead. I'm sorry.
Just doing. Why do women need men and men want women? Why use different words? Because what they entail. I mean, a live ain't that long, but you'll have to go back. But to give you a quick synapse, because I hate when I go to lives and I'm late and people be like, "Oh, go back to the beginning and hear what I said." So let me give you a quick synapse of why I said that. Because when you say need, right? Need is associated to survival. When you say want is associated to desire, right? So when it comes to women, for survival purposes, men are the defense mechanisms of women. Everything in nature has a defense mechanism, right? And women defense mechanism is men. Look at it genetically, right? We go to genetics first. Women produces more estrogen, right? Which produces more fat. Well, I ain't gonna say produces more fat, but it uh, promotes the production of fat. The more estrogen you got, the testosterone promotes the metabolism. Is actually what speeds the metabolism. Estrogen actually slows the metabolism. So from that aspect, bone density. Our bones are more denser, our muscles are more denser, our fast twitch muscles are faster. So biologically, we are more uh, built to defend and to protect. We built more for that. Women are built to nurture and produce, right? So the need of survival, and even if you take it to the aspect, and I'm not just talking about a relationship, and I'm not saying women haven't created things that significantly enhance the experience of being a human. I'm not saying that. So I'm not trying to take nothing away from women creating or building anything, but I'm talking about in totality. Men build things, roads, schools. We operate things. We are the driving force of society. The men are, right? I would say the women are the backbone of society. But we are the driving force. You know, we are in. If you agree that it's good or not, the society that's created was built predicated upon labor of men, right? So even the protection part, even if a single woman need to call 911, them are men. Women need men to enforce the laws that protect them from other men. That should sound crazy, right? Women, the reason women need protection is men, but men are the ones who protect the women from other men, right? We got the unscrupulous group, and then we got the righteous group. So the righteous group, we got to protect y'all from the unscrupulous one. Even though we were designed to protect women, we got to protect y'all from ourselves. So the survival aspect is why I say women need men. And the reason I say men want women because it's more of a desire than a necessity because we can still protect and provide without a woman. We don't need a woman to protect and provide. We can protect and provide for ourselves. So it's more of a desire for men to want women. If that helps. But you can that's just quick synapse. You can always go back and I gave more detail. We had a broader dialogue of what the difference is. And that's not to say men are more better or nothing like that. I'm actually having this conversation so people can understand the dynamic because it's a reason why we interact with one another the way we do. And it's because of the need and want factor. That's one of the reasons. I mean, there's other variables involved, but that's one of the main reasons is just the perception of how we look at one another. Like when women look for a significant other, they look for someone who can protect and provide. And that's not just monetarily. You know what I'm saying? That's not just with money. And men look for things, mainly look for things from, it's not a huge, um, uh, I don't even want to say it like that. But even if you look at the need and want factor, that's the reason why men usually date down and women usually date up from their social class. Because if a man dates down from his social class, is not a hindrance, it's not a liability. But if a woman dates down from her social class, she gonna end up being worse in a worse position. This is how the women. I'm probably yeah. I know that was. But you know what? Like I said, it can be triggering, right? But I'm not talking from I don't know. It's how people interpret it. But I tried to delineate and be as clear as possible. Try to be very concise with the structure of the sentences. That way, people won't have no confusion of what I'm trying to say. And that's why I uh keep saying that it ain't to separate the two. It's just to help understand. And this is if you look at it from a biological standpoint, you look at it from a mental standpoint. It's not much room. You can say I'm inaccurate. There's not a lot of room where you can say I'm inaccurate. Once you assign the behavior to the concept of neither one, how we approach both things. If you look how men approach a woman, it's not from a need aspect. It's not. It's just simply not. That's why men can hit and quit. He can slide in and slide out and be gone. Because when you look at the word want, it clearly details a desire to control or possess. Once you control and possess things, once you then experience it, you can let it go and move on. When women give their body, they look for something long term in return. Most women, I'm not gonna say all women, because there's some thoughts out there who just trying to hop on and hop off. But most women, when they give themselves to a man, they do it with forward thinking, meaning like I'm gonna give this now, and I'm gonna get what I want later. And what they want later is usually, a relationship. But when men will do the same thing, right? But like I said, the forward thinking concept, because a man will take you out, wine and dine you, say all the sweet stuff, just to hit, and after he hit, he done with you. That's as far as it went. What he wanted was to control and possess you. Once he did it, he was satisfied with the experience and moved on. That's a want. That's not a need. If it was a need, it would continue. It would be forward thinking involved, and usually it's not. But that's just shit. If like there's women out there who want to feel like men need them. You can feel like that all you want, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing or it's a good thing. I'm just telling you that it is what it is. Most men don't feel like they need women. That develops after they're in a relationship with the woman after a while. They develop that their want will develop into a need. But I'm telling you, a need will never develop into a want. That's why when you get a good woman, she'll be locked in. Like going from need to want in a relationship is like going backwards. It's like going backwards. Because if you plan to be with somebody for life, y'all dependent on one another for survival. There's some form of dependency on one another for survival. 'Cause everybody can do bad by themselves. So if you get with someone, it should be an addition. But if you get with someone and it's a subtraction, then but that's just to help y'all understand the dynamics between men and women. Men want women, women need men. And that's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just what it is. Mm. Let me get my behind off here, man.
For
And
these.
hopefully, and hopefully all the ladies come back and subscribe. I love
Wait,
you. Yeah,
wait,
man.
ain't nobody unsubscribe. He's still at the same.
I want y'all over here. I want y'all. I have a desire to have one. I want y'all. I want y'all.
He said, "I want
I'm
y'all."
good.
Uh oh, wifey was just in the chat. You better be careful. Listen, women are good at aiming them
Oh,
chancletas. I don't know if she owns a flip flop, but she gonna learn today.
you you know what? My wife ain't jealous. She'll say the same thing. She wants y'all to come over here because the more people in general subscribe, my views go up. I can get paid off of it. So she want that too. Me and wifey on the same page.
Yo, this shit is wild. All this stuff is going down. Damn. Word gotta catch up. You gotta stop watching your little Asian movies for a second. Catch up to the news. He like, I ain't watching that shit.
Man, man, my wife, hell, I wish she was still woke. She just told me about some politician, but this is how she told me. Man, what is his name? I don't know. Some dude, I think in California. But she, whatever dude, she was like, she loved him because he going at Trump. My wife hate Trump. But she was like, oh, I'm in love with this dude because I'm going at Trump. I don't know what the guy name was. I forgot already. I'm like, man, fuck him. She like, why he doing this? I said, because just because you say you in love with him, fuck him. I don't give a fuck about
I
that dude.
can't with word, yo. I
Don't tell
can't.
me about no fuck. I look. That's how I feel with my wife. Like, if you know, I thought like she said that shit about. I was like, man, Jason Momoa. I'm like, this is the perfect dude for Aquaman. She was like, yeah, he look good. I'm like, man, fuck Jason Momoa. You're like,
Dead.
why you say that? I said, because you said he looked good. Nah, I don't like that Mendes. I fuck with my wife 24/7. Anything she say, I don't know.
Yo,
I'm
you know.
annoying. It
Let
is.
me ask you a
It
question.
goes. Mm-hmm.
You was talking about the women, need men and the men want women, right? Earlier, like the live I was doing earlier, right? I was well, not earlier. That was actually yesterday morning. But anyways, right, I was speaking on the mayor. I think, if I'm not mistaken, is it New Orleans mayor or something like that? The one that's getting indicted, right? You've noticed how all these female mayors that are coming into office are all getting arrested for fucking being corrupt? Like, what in the world is going on, yo?
We're trying to get the piece of their pie too, man. Shit, everybody else
Listen,
doing it. Why can't I eat too?
I looked at
They
the
just
list,
don't know how to
right?
do it right. That's why they get in top.
Throughout the years, there's been a total of 48 corrupt mayors, and they've all been men, right? Even the judges, it's just crazy, right? And I'm looking at it like, yo, y'all women, y'all fought hard as shit, right? To work in a man's world. I'm saying it like that for a reason, and I'm hoping Word understands why I'm saying it like that. Like, for y'all to sit here and fuck up the first term in office like that, and they say that women are supposed to make the world better. Y'all making us look
But
bad.
man, it's just, I don't even just like you'll have some people associating that to women like nah, bro. That's a human thing, bro. That's what I was just talking about power and strength.
Mm,
People they get power, but they don't know what to do with it,
listen,
and they start abusing it. They have no self control.
none.
I mean, only thing you got to do is do the job, do it the right way.
Wouldn't you think that a woman, right, is supposed to be a nurture? Well, I mean, even though we know that
No,
there's evil women out there, but like, goddamn, people don't. Like, this is like I was saying earlier, right? Just because she's a woman and y'all think she's cool, right? Because like I had to compare with the live that I did the other day, right? Because a lot of people was like, oh, but why did you speak bad on Umar? First of all, I'm not biased. It's not about who I like. You see where I'm coming from? And I don't even know the dude, right? And
I
then I compared it to the presidential election. I was like, you know what I think is crazy about all of y'all, from the women to the men to the celebrities, right? It's about who y'all like. Y'all make these people famous, complain about them, right? I was like, when y'all ask for accountability, that's what we gonna give you on these panels on some real shit. I'm not gonna sit here and because somebody is from Philly, you see where I'm coming from my hometown, I'm gonna sit here and take their side.
so
Like, I'm
let's be
looking at
honest.
it with the woman shit. You see where I'm coming from? Like, because I'm a woman, I'm going to take a woman's side. Oh, I want her to become mayor. I want to do my research. It's not about policy no more. It's about who we like, and it's crazy.
Well, let me ask you this though: is that wrong? That's nature of humans.
For real?
It's always been about who we like and what we like. More like moral, like people like to say morals are objective. No, they not. No, they're not. Morals are when you choose and choose not to apply that shit. That's just how.
Mm-hmm. Like
That's
I've been
just how.
saying.
Let's be real. Like,
Because it wasn't
I
like
don't
this
go out.
before. It wasn't like, I mean, I'm not going to say it all the time. I'm saying
Man,
at one point, it wasn't like this. Or because I wasn't a part of it growing up, I didn't
like
see it.
that's what I was about to say. You just wasn't aware of it. This shit up. Look, if the things has been corrupted since politics was created. It was created to be more.
This shit is wild. I mean, you've been saying it though. I mean, a lot of us have been saying it, and like I say it constantly. Everybody, like, how can you say the system is not broken, but look at everything that's happening? But y'all don't look at the people within the system. The systems are doing exactly what the hell they're supposed to be doing.
So therefore, they're not broken. They're operating just fine. You just understanding how fucked up it is. I
Mhm.
mean, politics was created to control the masses. That's why it was created. So, I mean,
Exactly. I said that shit earlier. I was
yeah.
speaking on it
So,
because I don't know if you heard about the story too. That's the last story that I spoke on my live, right? And it's about this mom that's being, I think, is in Detroit, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, I think it is in Detroit. A mom being charged, she got indicted, right? I think she lost her son, right? And then after she lost her son, something happened. Damn, I can't get everything straight right now because
they just hire a lawyer or something like that.
I don't know if they hired a lawyer. There's not much on that story yet. That's the crazy part. Like they just posted it 4 days ago. It turned out that she was, let me put it like this, sexually abusing minors.
Oh,
That is crazy. I'm sitting here like, wow. And it wasn't one, it wasn't two, it was a few of them.
this, you know what I learned, man? Like, you got all these titles, right? Remember I said words create expectations, right? So now
Yeah.
you got titles. You have these titles: politician, mom, dad, judge. You got all these, and what's associated to these titles are these ideologies of how these people are supposed to be. But then you realize, like, those are just fucking titles, and these are
Hmm.
still fucking human beings. These are still people. No matter
Like I
what
was saying.
title they obtain, they're still people. So when people are corrupt or people are vile, like when you were saying, like you wouldn't think women would be corrupt like this. I was
Yeah.
literally just about to say women. I, I would
Women
never
could be
think
evil,
women
but damn.
wouldn't be because women are drowned their own damn kids. So shit, why wouldn't they get in
When you put it
politics?
like that, yeah.
It's just
But then
human nature.
what's crazy is what makes us then any better if we don't take the time to research it, right? Like I know me and you know we talk about this every time we get on here, right? About accountability, responsibility, actions, right? How can I say that? Um, damn, I forgot what I was gonna say, but you get my whole point on that. But my thing is like, damn, us knowing that it's like okay, it's like when it's time to vote for these people, something a button switches off on a lot of people. Like you need to do your research. You know it's about policy, but you don't give a fuck, right? Because this person said this, this whole time throughout the election, you thought it was cool. Half of y'all don't even know half the words that come out your fucking mouth. You see where I'm coming from? Like that's the fucked up part about it. What is they really promising you? Half of you don't even know it.
But think about this. What you were saying earlier when you use that term choice. When it
Choice.
comes to, I mean, even doing researching policies or researching the people, you're still not given a decision. You're given a choice. They give
Fact.
you people to select from. So you can do all the research and all that shit you want. You still really have no control. You only get option A or option B. You know what I'm saying?
That's
It
what
ain't
I
like
was
you
saying the
can
last time
actually
too.
vote for whoever the fuck you really want to vote for. Like when I'm telling people I'm about to vote for Cornell West. I like Cornell West. Well,
I remember.
well, if you vote for him, you're voting against this person because it really don't count. So why would we even put him on the ballot if it don't count? Everybody thinking that way. That's what I'm saying. Most motherfuckers are sheep. They like
Hmm.
Cornell West. They think he a better candidate, but because they know everybody else ain't gonna vote for him, and if they do, they vote is dismissed. They just rather vote for the lesser of two evils.
You seen?
That shit
Well, you
crazy to
wasn't
me.
there when I went and I was live. I voted for Jill Stein. People was like, you should vote for
I
Trump.
voted
You
for
should
her the
vote for
last
Kamala.
last two elections.
I voted for her this last election. I was like, I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not. People was mad as shit. I was like, how you
Yeah,
mad at me? Because I'm not voting for neither one. I'm like, did y'all see their policy? I was like, on live and in person, I told people, I was like, let's look at her policy. Right? It's similar to Trump's, but it's better on some real shit because it cancels out what Kamala is doing. You see where I'm coming from? But it doesn't change certain things that we're used to. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from. Like it cancels out a lot of the things, that we don't want, which was Kamala was about to allow. right? And it cancels a lot of the things. If you really looked at her policy, it canceled a lot of things that Trump was trying to do. But they didn't really want that. They didn't want her policy. And even though, and another thing, let's be real, a woman wasn't really going to win that election. I'm sorry, I'm being real.
I told everybody that shit, bro. America ain't ready for no woman president, bro. What's wrong with y'all, man?
Everybody else, she wasn't so
People get mad.
spoken. She was outspoken. Y'all just didn't pay attention to her videos. Because it's crazy how y'all pay more attention to Trump every time he went live, but ignored every time she went live. Because I paid attention. And she didn't really go live. She did interviews. That's what she did.
That shit is a popularity contest, man. All that shit is about, and that's just the reality. Is about who we like. That's why Trump and Kamala was going to get celebrities to speak. That's why they do that shit. Because the more you like them, the more likely you're going to vote for.
And they made
That's
that
just
shit
what it's about who we like.
They made that shit so popular. Look at people now. Like everything is a debate, a competition. I'm sitting here, it's like y'all know better than these politicians trying to make this shit go viral on some real shit.
That's like people like when I be hearing people, especially over in the KB sector, they say that shit all the time. It's about who we like duh. Like that's you said it's like it's a bad thing. That's just reality. It's like, well, right and wrong is subjective, man. Right and wrong is totally subjective. It's how a person views it. So if look, I'm just being real. Like if you do something, if Commander do something, if Gary do something, I'm gonna be more likely like, oh shit, they just tripping. I'm gonna make an excuse for a problem, right? Uh, up front, I probably talk to y'all behind the scene, like, hey man, that shit you work with. But up front, in front of everybody, no, I'm gonna be more biased towards y'all than I am anybody I don't know. That's because I like y'all. There's people in my family I like. I love them. So yeah, I'm gonna be if they do something, I'm gonna be more understanding to it than somebody I don't fucking know. That's reality. Motherfuckers don't want to live in it. They want to create this Peter Pan fairy tale
Not everybody like that on.
simulation shit.
Not everybody like that. Not everybody is like that on social media on some real shit. Cause like I told you, like I knew people was gonna come at me because of the Umar shit, but like I said, I'm really gonna speak accountability. You see where I'm coming from? Because at the end of the day, that's what y'all wanted, and I knew it. I said it throughout my whole life. I was like, motherfuckers gonna say this and do this. I'm not worried about that shit. At the end of the day, I'm a real person. Like I'm gonna put this as an example, right? When I was cleaning the block on that was all yesterday, right? Yesterday was Saturday, right? I'm tripping off. Today is Monday. See, the days are going by so fucking fast. When I was cleaning the block on Saturday, right? The one of the neighbors said, she's like, I don't know why you keep doing this. You know the neighbors ain't gonna come out. I'm like, I gotta lead by example at the end of the day. All right, like they didn't come out. A lot of them didn't come out at that moment, but when some came home from work, right? Since the truck didn't come, they came out and they started cleaning their fronts. I was like, because at the end of the day, I led. I started that shit off. I told her, I was like, you see, they didn't all come out in the morning, but I knew who was gonna come and who was gonna do what they gotta do. I knew there was a lot of people working. I started that shit off early as shit because I wasn't gonna be outside all day. You see where I'm coming from? So I was like, I did what I had to do. I was like, that's the whole point. How y'all gonna teach me one thing and then, years later be hypocrites about the same shit y'all taught me? Let's make it make sense. Y'all taught us to lead by example, and that's what we're doing, but y'all complaining about it. That don't make no sense.
They didn't think y'all was gonna really do it. They was just saying that shit. Then when y'all did it, they're like, oh shit, nah, we ain't really think y'all was gonna do it. Now it's a
We
problem.
did it. There's a lot of us doing it. Don't fucking like listen. It's a lot of us. People forget. Like I told her, the chick the other day. I was like, listen, it was too many old heads pulling my ear and sitting my ass down. At the moment, I didn't get it, but now observing, watching everything, I get the message. I get it. I don't think it was meant for me to get it at that moment, at that time, but now it's a whole
But
different.
that's how it works. I mean, and how this is how life works a lot of times. You will hear something and you won't have an understanding, but you'll be aware of it. Then you will experience some shit that'll give you clarity. Then when you hear it again, it makes sense.
That's a
So
fact.
that's
That's
just
why I
how it
told her. I
works.
was like, listen, man. I'm broke as shit. And I told a few people, I was like, listen, I don't like saying it a lot because it sounds like I'm bragging, right? But at the end of the day, that's how I got a lot of respect from these politicians and the people around me. One, I don't burn my bridges. Two, I don't owe nobody. And three, I'm always honest. And I don't see the point in lying when at the end of the day you can't cover the sun with one finger. Make it make sense. What you hide in the dark always comes out to the light, especially if you're doing something fucked up. Now, if you're doing the right thing, you ain't got to worry about shit.
And then like this too, man. This, like it's easy to sit here and say, "Oh, these politicians corrupt," but that shit, like when you experience, like I've never been a politician, but it's not as far off as you think it is from the street. It's really not. Even like, man, look, you get. This is what I'm saying. You put what's that term they use over there? The duro twist. You get put in position where if you don't comply, then you know you might be unalive.
Mhm.
You see what happened in Minnesota? Like, come on, like really think about what I'm saying. This dude is a fucking lawmaker. Who the fuck runs up in a neighborhood like that in broad daylight and gun two people down?
Real shit.
Like, let's
It's
be
like,
real, man. How many politicians you hear? Oh, they got in some weird ass car accident, or they was unalive on the street.
mhm.
Oh man, them people, like, look, if you don't comply to a lot of those people, your ass you gone. So it's easy to say, oh, they corrupt or they doing this, doing that. Sometimes being in that position puts them in the position to be
Oh, I know what
corrupted.
you're saying. That's why, like, in a way, a lot
Well,
of people coming at the mayor from here in Philly. They're like, "Oh, she's corrupt. She's this." I was like, I think y'all need to look a little deeper, cause like, I get where people coming from. Oh, she should have kept her promise and bought them wages up. I'm like, look, listen, go deeper into this shit. I'm not taking her side. You see where I'm coming from, but I'm not going to take away the fact that she's done what a lot of mayors haven't done. You see where I'm coming from? She's bringing back the program. She's funding these things that, didn't get funded before. She's fixing these potholes we were complaining about, right? Like she's helping with the schools, which Boyle should be doing. I think he's senator or council. I forgot what he's senator. Anyways, um, no, it's Council Boyle. So he's council. He should be dealing with the school and shit like that. I forgot. I'm probably mixing it up, but where get where I'm coming from. I just know he deals with the schools. Shit. But everything has landed on her. Everybody's all you taking on her side so much. I was like, because at the end of the day, right? She's pleased us on everything. She's been on her way. I was like, look at what y'all doing. I was like, y'all putting her in a position, right, where y'all not gonna like how all this is gonna backfire. Not as just on us, on her too. I was like, I don't
I'm
think she's corrupt. I think that she's just trying to like really help. Like you see where I'm coming from? I
you know
mean,
it can
it
help so
sounds
much, man.
crazy, but
You
exactly. Everybody's
you,
like, why
you
don't you
know
become mayor? I was like, listen,
it,
y'all see what y'all doing to that lady? I don't want to be in her
it's
shoes.
even simple shit like this. Like my man who made the fuel out of plastic. That dude's scared for his life now. You know, it's weird shit happening around him. Why? It's because it's fucking up somebody's money. If he makes some shit where you can make gasoline out of plastic, you know how much fucking plastic we got on the planet trying to get rid of?
That
Let's go
sounds
fuck with
familiar.
somebody oil money. Let's go fuck with somebody money.
You
If
talking about that
somebody
bull that
created
went
a cure,
viral?
yeah, he was
That's
hiding
what I'm
out. He's
like.
still hiding out.
I knew I
They
wasn't going
found him.
crazy. I asked
No,
about it.
he hiding out. He made another. His people made a video and said he's safe. He laying low. But like even think of like if you created a cure for cancer, man, your ass would be up out of there. Like, you fucking up people money, bro. People don't. This just. I mean, the world don't. Look, we cattle, bro. It ain't about the betterment of humanity. It's about how to control humanity. They don't
Mhm.
want to better humanity. They want to control humanity. And if you fuck up something that they have in place to implement control, oh,
That's
bro,
true. It's
nah,
crazy because I hear Papa Duck, and I'm not saying he's imitating you. You see where I'm coming from because I know he's not. But I
My
hear
Papa
him
Doug do something
saying
different. I wouldn't be doing this.
what you used to say in the beginning, right? Was it you or was it me? I know it was one of y'all two, but I know that it was all three of us on the panel when it was said, and I'm not sure if it was you or Nate about starting our own communities. Remember, making
That's
our
what I've
laws,
been
and
saying.
I'm thinking it was more you than Nate. That was you.
I
See, I
was
know I
like,
wasn't tripping,
uh,
but we was all in the same panels when we was talking all this stuff, right? And I hear Papa Duck speaking on it and stuff like that. And it makes sense, but how do we start a new blueprint, right? Because we can do it as long as we don't fuck with them. You see where I'm
and
coming
that's
from?
what that's the whole look. I've been telling people this. That's the whole thing. Like, as long as you don't fuck with them, they ain't gonna fuck with you. If
Hmm.
you create something within their system and you don't fuck with their system, they'll let you thrive, bro. And it's proof. Look at the Amish community. It's when you try to oppose their shit. That's when they got a problem. But if you just doing your own thing, they ain't gonna fuck with you, bro. I'm talking about the system. I ain't talking about other people. Other people will probably try to tear your shit down, but the system ain't gonna fuck with you.
One thing
Long as they get what they deserve, long as you yield to Caesar what's owed
I
to Caesar, they ain't gonna fuck with you, bro. So if you gonna get some land, as long as you pay your taxes, man, and don't do no shit against the government, bro, they don't give a fuck what you doing, man. When you start opposing the government and trying to, that's when they be like, hold the fuck up, who you think you is, boy? That's when
mm-hmm.
they hit you with that boy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what like Papa Duck be on some shit, bro. I'd be like, man, you he probably don't care, man. I
Papa
don't know,
don't give
man.
a fuck. I
But
mean, listen, the
this
same.
this
But
is one. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's one or two things, and I only talk. I'm gonna say it like this. I can only talk from experience. Right? That's all I'm gonna talk to you from. Things I don't know, I'm not gonna talk about. So when I say
that,
this, I don't know how people go interpret it or how people go take it in general. But uh,
kinda.
when you oppose they shit, that's when they have a problem. You ain't bothering them, they ain't gonna bother you.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like I can talk to people and tell them what they need to do, and I can do it in a way where it don't affect their shit, right? And I just think that's the best way to do it, to be effective and efficient. So if you go create, you can homeschool your kids, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they don't care about the how you educate your kids. They don't really care about that unless you sign up with their shit. Now, if you enroll your kids, now that's their money involved, right? That's their money involved now. It's
Yep.
money involved. It's their shit involved. But far as the way you educate your kids, as long as you pay your taxes, they don't give a fuck what you do. So you can go create your own school system within a group of people just by homeschooling.
That's what I'm saying.
You
People
get
like that's not
somebody to teach
possible.
math,
It's
somebody to teach science. You can do that. You can educate your kids. You can do that. They won't bother you. Shit, Trump talking about giving you 10 G's a month or some shit like that. Be
mm-hmm. But
$10,000 to home. I don't know if it's a month or it's throughout the school year, but I know he was talking about giving 10,000 to people who homeschool their kids.
the
So you can
reality
put some shit together. You get like say if you get one, two, three, four, you get five parents and you get a retired school teacher and they allocate that 10 grand to that not a lady that made man or lady, that school teacher that made 50 grand this year teaching kids. You know what I'm saying? Shit, that's a paycheck right there. You help somebody and they doing their job. So I mean you can still it's ways that retired school teachers, you don't fuck up their pension or they this whatever, they can make some money. Shit. Just pay them something, they teaching your kids. Even if y'all get together and there's ways to do the shit, what I'm saying. Even like they got that white only town. Maybe you can go buy some land, create a corporation and build your own town. As long as you pay the taxes, government don't give a fuck. Pay taxes. You
but
go
people don't
create your own
understand
shit.
that part. As long as
But
you
it's people so fucked up. That's why I be having these conversations though. It's not the fact it can't be done. You got too many fucked up people
and
trying to
not just
come to
that, it's like right now, right? Like I was saying when I keep bringing up Umar, we cannot try to build these type of things on broken infrastructures. I don't know if I'm saying it right, and I'm glad I'm on this panel, but maybe word could break down what a broken infrastructure is. That's what a lot of these influencers, a lot of these celebrities and people that are coming up are trying to do. Some can manage to do it because they're trying to, they're breaking the chains. Others are just going by who they like, and how can I say it? Manipulation, cheating their way in. That's not the way to go. You always gonna fall back down that fucking ladder. Like we have to figure out how to, how can I say? We keep saying it. Fix from home first in order to how can I say, help others fix whatever
Mm,
they got broken around them, and then start these little, how can I say, maybe I'm saying it wrong. I know I was saying it right earlier because I had the notes in front of me, right, that I wanted to talk about, but I'm hoping Word could understand where I'm coming from. Like we have to fix what's broken within us first in order to start something.
That's why I be having these conversations. That's why I talk about self development. We can't come together until we get it together.
Exactly. I've noticed
We
a
get it
lot of
together,
that.
then we can come together. It's like even starting a group over here, like we did not. I don't try. I'm if you want to call it the captain of the ship, whatever you want to call it. Right? You know what I'm saying? We a group of individuals, came together. Now when we build on some other shit, then but we still have an understanding. Everybody tell you Word is the captain of the ship, right? Commander is the lady of the nine. Gary is the
Hmm.
big 33. You know what I'm saying? We all got our role. It's not really a hierarchy, but we understand that is structure. That's what we don't have. People don't. People more worried about. I ain't gonna be under them. I ain't gonna be over me. I ain't this man. I'm just trying to do what I'm good at. And if
Facts.
I'm good at this, then I'm gonna do that. If I'm good at that, then I'm gonna do that. It ain't about being a man or being this or being that. Because when we first came together, it was like it wasn't no hierarchy. It was a three-headed monster.
Facts.
And then even after that fell apart, it was just like, shit, we here chilling. And then it's like, okay, we need some type of structure now because shit is just going away. Okay, well, I'm gonna take accountability. I'll be the captain of the ship.
That's a fact. And like
I'll hold the weight.
that's all I
You
was
know what
telling
I'm saying?
people. Like me, I'm getting my shit together because I had a few obstacles in my way, right? But what you're doing on the side, shout out to Gary, right? Because he brought it up when I was, doing my live the other day, right? You're a coach. What you're trying to do, right? You're speaking to the youth and stuff like that, and you're doing it, and you don't really brag about it. Because when you're
I
doing
ain't
something that
saying,
comes
yeah.
when you're doing something that comes from the heart, there's no need to brag about it. You see where I'm coming from? So that shows people. That should show people that you're really doing it because you care, not because you want, to make some money or get famous out of it. I don't know why other people do it, but I see that you're definitely doing it because it's genuine. You see where I'm coming from? Like that's what we need to pay attention to. But motherfuckers, unless you're rich, you see where I'm coming from, and you got a status, people don't want to pay attention to that. Oh, how can they possibly do it? This is shit that I've heard people, not about you. You see where I'm
Right.
coming from? I've seen it happen here in the hood. Oh, like you can't even, take care of yourself. How you gonna make this pop off? I'm sitting here looking like, damn, give them at least the benefit of the doubt. Like you see them trying to get the group of people together, the kids together. The kids are enjoying it. The people are enjoying it. And y'all just already tearing it apart before they can even build the damn bridge for you to fucking walk through it.
You know what broke my heart? Because like people always complaining it ain't this, it ain't that. And like when I created that program, it was for a couple weeks. And I was trying to be clear. This is what I'm teaching: self esteem. I'm teaching EQ. I'm teaching these young men emotional intelligence, um, and confidence building. Like we're gonna
Hmm.
build the confidence. We're gonna build it. This is the foundation of the program. And they still got access to me if they need to talk or question about anything outside of what I'm teaching. I'm available. Right? Offer that shit for free. I didn't even have 10 people hit me up, but most of the people who joined in was family. Me, like my nieces and nephews. I mean, my niece, right? My niece in one of the groups, nieces and nephews. So it's like And you give people something for free, they don't want it. But with the company I'm dealing with, we're gonna do it on a large platform, and it's gonna be a fee involved. It's gonna be a fee involved. But when I gave the shit out for free, nobody wanted to. I think they were saying a lot of you, oh, who is this dude? This, that, this, that. I don't know. Okay, this is what's wrong with people. People knock things before they try it, and that's just asinine. Like certain things, especially when you have things implemented, like we on a Zoom call, and the parents are. I'm welcoming the parents to join in for the simple fact that this shit take work, right? So the parents should be aware because the parents got to help develop the environment where the kids can express their emotions, man. So I do need the parents there. You know, if they can't be there, cool. But I'm just offering a male presence and some information. That's all I'm offering. I'm not trying to be one on one or alone with your kids. I got kids. You know, I'm a parent too. So I know that the questions I will have with some dude I don't know, I will have some questions. But if I try to make it as comfortable for people as possible, they don't want it. I got people overseas in the Philippines like, hey, is that still available? Like, shit, yeah. It's a Zoom call, so I can fuck with people in the Philippines.
That's
But the
a
sad
fact. That's what
thing
I'm
is
saying.
like when you try to get a shit away, you try to do it from the heart. You know what I'm saying? People downplay it.
That's how I seen that shit here, man. That's why I said I spoke to my baby pops that I'm gonna do like a little saga interviewing the men that have changed their lives. You see where I'm coming from, and you know are willing to help these young men out here that wanted to do it. Right? I'm like, let's switch it up a little bit. You know, let's go online while y'all putting that footwork in. Fuck it, let's talk about it. What y'all really want to do?
To interview me. To interview me, I love to have a conversation with
Yeah, like no, I'm talking about these men have been incarcerated and have changed their lives around. I don't know if you've been incarcerated.
you. I ain't been incarcerated.
Because what I'm
But
saying
hey,
is
to
that
me, I'm
regardless
gonna just
of
be honest.
anything, is that people
Is
want
and I
to.
think about this. I mean, that's probably an even better story because if you've been incarcerated, I mean, you got caught, so you had to change. I didn't have to change. I
Hmm.
didn't get caught. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's what I be telling people. I'm like, y'all are perfect examples to show these young bulls that that's not the path. I'm not saying scare them. You see where I'm coming from? Because this is not scare beyond straight. I don't even know if that's the name of the show or you know what it was called. But I know they had a show like that where they used to scare the kids and you know take them to jail and shit like that. But no, I'm talking about doing interviews, right? So they can actually see, look, listen, they turn their lives around. They're actually trying to do these, trying to start these programs. That's why I keep saying that what Word is trying to do, right? In reality, if I ever manage to like get a building and start, you know, get the paperwork together, right, and you know, create my little community center, it'll work. Because the ideas that I got ain't for a regular community center, and people don't even peep that part. And I got a lot of people that want to, you know, how can I say it, be with me on this, but I have to find the money out of pocket to get this shit started. But I have to fix home first, like I tell people. You see, I had an obstacle hit me that made me start from square one. And until I don't fix that, I can't fix that. But shit like this, what Word has, is good. Because when people like me come out with things like this, boom, look, I got a workshop. I need what you got going, right, over here, right? And I'm expanding what I got going, right, nationwide, worldwide, however y'all want to call it, right? I'm not just trying to invest in one building. I'm trying to invest in multiple buildings. And for that, I need unity. I'm not stupid to start now.
Yes, I hate to cut you off. Let me get my butt off this. I'm gonna be away for another 2 hours. And I gotta get up in the morning.
Yeah. See,
I thought somebody was gonna come up here and try to like
no,
lay it into me. But I
they,
guess I explained it right and people ain't feeling the
it's
people.
the
So
topic.
I
It's the
appreciate
topic.
y'all for
It's the topic.
that. Yeah.
All right, word. See, y'all. Guys, don't be scared to hit the link. Word don't bite. All right, he got wifey.
Only on the weekend.
He said only on the weekends. He's not a dog. He's a human being. All right.
I'm at
The but yeah, let me get
You
off
want
this.
to the point.
He said for the struggle. Who that? New Jack City. That's Blonde.
Shout out to Blind for the struggle. Appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate that. I take all pennies. I ain't
You gotta
too
take all
proud.
pennies. Let me get off
I
this
take
John
all
C.
pennies. If you send me a nickel, a dime, a penny, a 5, a 10, a 20, 100, I'm grateful. It's more than what I had before I
Get
started.
off.
And I appreciate y'all for supporting the content. Hold on, let me play.
Work out the money, work out the money, work out the juice. 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 Work out the money, work out the juice.
Shout out to Mr. Blind. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, I'm gonna be rocking a little later tomorrow because the wife is off Tuesday and I ain't gotta get up early. So I'll definitely be rocking out a little later tomorrow. I'll probably start a little later at like 1. But yeah, we'll be on later tomorrow, bro. We'll be on here rocking and rolling, talking about everything and nothing at the same time. But man, I appreciate the shit out of y'all, man. Y'all know what I always say. Care about how you feel. These conversations that builds nation. And if we said anything that resonated with you, hit that share button. Tell somebody, help me spread the word. But until next time, hold on, man. Before I dip out, I meant to do this. Where you at, bro? But until next time, bro, we no. Had to turn blind to a smurf.
And do it for the 9.
What up, Nine?